Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 15 of Brutally Honest to WoW podcast. I'm not going to talk a lot because the episode you're about to watch and or listen to, fun. That's the only word to describe it. Fun. If there is one episode that you share with your guild mates, your friends on Discord, wherever, let it be this one. I'm going to shut up because I swear to God, if you're not laughing and vibing and having the time of your life by the end of this episode, there's no hope for you. Enjoy the episode. Folks, welcome back. We are live here with three amazing guests this week. By the way, this is episode 15 of Brutally Honest to WoW podcast. This is the second to last episode of the season and the second to last episode before midnight launches. We are, God, we're less than 2 weeks away. Is that right? A week and a half?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Depending on which version you got, yes.
That's true. I'm referring to early access. That's a good point. I mean, yeah. I'll admit I'm one of those guys to where I don't necessarily like the idea of early access, but I'm not going to leave it on the table. You know, I gotta participate. Anyway, you guys know the deal. We're gonna be talking about Midnight today with these guys, and something I did differently a few episodes ago, and I've continued this tradition, is I've had the guests write their own introductions out, and so I'm gonna read basically verbatim what these three esteemed gentlemen wrote for themselves. So buckle up here. I wish I had some like epic music to play behind this. I need to find some copyright free epic music for introductions like this. In any case, up first, we've got Sean, Mr. CartridgeBros. Now, CartridgeBros, that's because you and your brother used to do stuff, or do you still do stuff?
Used to. He got a very important job now that he just doesn't have a family, so he doesn't have time anymore.
Yep.
I keep trying to rope him back into a podcast, though.
We got Sean from Raider.io's Weekly No Leaver here, of course. He also co-hosts for Xal'atath. You guys have like, over 300 episodes now? Is that correct?
Yeah, we're at like I want to say 370.
Oh my God, man.
I only joined for like, I think somewhere around the mid 200s. It's been, the cast has changed a couple of times throughout its iteration, but yeah, over 370 now.
That is wild. Well, you've been playing WoW for a long time, since vanilla, according to Sean here. He's been creating content since 2012. Sean, it is a privilege and an honor to have you here, man. I know that you're a busy guy, and I really appreciate you bringing your level of expertise and fun to the show. So thank you for being here. Round of applause for Mr. Sean. CartridgeBros is where you can find him on Twitch. You can see all of our names below our webcams. You can also find everything in the YouTube description below. Thank you for being here, man. Up next, we've got Damage 100. Now, again, I'm going to read what he wrote for himself, so buckle up. From one of the goofiest of goobers, the glizziest of glizzies, and the leader of the Winnie Hut... What does all this mean, by the way? The leader of the Winnie Hut Juniors, Damage 100, is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, residing on the desert island of Arizona. Something's not quite adding up here. Hold on. The desert island of Arizona. Damage has been streaming on Twitch for over 7 years. He's only recently pivoted to content... he's pivoted his content fully to WoW recently. He may not be world first, folks. He may not even be world second or anything close to it, but if he can get you to cheer, laugh, and have fun, then that's a win for him. It's Damage 100, folks. What's up, man?
Hey, pleasure to be here. Welcome, everybody. And all that really is just because we are like the Winnie Hut Juniors is the guild in World of Warcraft. But
it's a guild. Gotcha.
It's a reference from the classical SpongeBob episodes and all that stuff, and it just keeps everything fun and uplifting. And yeah, that's where all that comes from. But we have some fun.
I think uplifting people and having fun is literally one of the most important things that you can do as a content creator or as a human being. So I appreciate the attitude, the perspective. It's really awesome to have you here, man. Also, I call people goobers all the time. I call my kids goobers. I call myself a goober. We're all goobers, man. Appreciate you being here, buddy. And pleasure's mine. Last but certainly not least, we have, now real quick. On Discord, you're called Drowsy Beast, is that correct? Your channel's called TheDrowsyDragon, right?
That's right. I used to be called Lazy Beast.
Gotcha. So okay. Gotcha. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Drowsy Dragon, aka the Drowsy Beast, aka this guy down there. He is the harbinger of WoW guides, owner of the Digital Tavern, champion of altohism. That's a hard word to say. Altohism. It's like alcoholism, but altohism. Master of no class. protector of the casuals and the sleep-deprived, runner of transmog comps, master of the Drowsy Dragons Guild, and a downright WoW-obsessed nerd. What's up, man? Thanks for being here, and thanks for taking the time to type that up. These introductions today have been a lot of fun. The best yet, sincerely.
Nice. No, thank you for having me. Cheers.
You're very welcome. You guys are taking time out of your day, so let me just say thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. We're going to get started here with a poll, as we've been doing as of late. You guys, if you're listening live, 2 quick things. You can type in the command question with a question, and we'll get to it during the show if we can. And you can also type in the command poll, P-O-L-L, and a poll will pop up that you can respond to and answer throughout the show. And you can participate in that, man. Oops, I just muted myself. You know what? Don't worry about that. I muted myself. It's totally fine. I have no idea what I hit. But we're going to pretend like I didn't do that. How long have I been muted? Twitch, how long have I been muted? Are we good? Okay, I think it was just for a few seconds. We're fine. We're fine. I didn't check this before the stream. Does this work? Oh, phew. Okay, nothing's broken on my end. The first poll asks, how do you feel about midnight today compared to when it was announced? And we've only had a few responses so far, but 50% of the responses says they are about the same level of excitement as before it was announced. What do you guys think? Are you more excited, less excited? About the same. How are you feeling?
Personally, I'm pretty excited as things kind of came along, more being released, more updates to it. There are some questionable things, obviously, but I'm personally really excited as far as the expansion goes itself.
Yeah, I'm definitely the same way. I'm not like crazy over the top levels of excitement right now, but you know, I'm getting back into mythic raiding. You know, of course, I've recently over the past few months gotten back into content creation and whatnot. I'm looking forward to it, to say the least. Sean, how do you feel?
It's been a real roller coaster of emotions since midnight was announced. I'm pretty attached to my UI, and
oh, me too,
because
buddy.
of work. You know, I'm tied into the beta cycle, so and I don't recommend that to anybody. If you don't have to for your job, don't look at anything from beta until launch. Save yourself the headache. It's been a roller coaster. There was, especially during early raid testing, I was in the dumps. It was gloomy. I was considering drastic measures, but honestly, when LVI came and said, "Okay, we're done. We're ready to start ramping this up now," that's when things sort of shifted for me. Because I was like, "Okay, I'm going to be able to look at the game the way that I'm used to looking at it," and I'm pretty hyped right now. The raids are looking good. They've done a great job adjusting the bosses based on feedback from players. So I would say that I am more excited today than I was mid-beta, and probably about the same as I was initially for midnight, but way higher than when they had made all those changes. So yeah, roller coaster, big roller coaster.
Yeah, much like you, I'm very much a UI guy. I've played with not literally the same UI for 15 years, but you know, 15 years ago I jumped on. I think it was about 15 years ago. I jumped on the LVI train. I've had various iterations of the UI over the years, but it's been more or less the same. And to go from what I knew, what I had, what I enjoyed to what I have now, it looks the same. It performs the same in many ways, but it's not quite the same. But I've gotten used to it. But it was a rough road. It was a bumpy road there for a few weeks, and I've spent the last 2 weeks iterating on it and trying to improve it. And I find that I've got a lot of bugs with it right now. I'm trying my best, but a lot of things are not firing on all cylinders. Drowsy, how do you feel about midnight today compared to a few months ago?
Yeah, I think slightly a bit more excited because, you know, part of like making content for the game, you're always aware of what's going on and, you know, playing the beta and all that kind of stuff. So I think ramping up a little bit as we get closer, because it's like it's nearly here now. Like we've done all the things, and you know we know what's coming. There's not as many big changes going on, nothing really new to learn, but it's nearly time to go. So,
yeah,
getting excited.
I agree. For me, like UI issues aside, I'm the kind of goober, dare I say. I just like being excited. I like being happy. I like just having fun and focusing on that, you know? Not to say that it's not worth digging into issues and problems and whatnot, because there's always a bit of that. But I want to be excited, and thus I am excited. And I just want to have fun with midnight and stuff. So with all of that said, Sean, I want to start with you. Let's talk about, like, what does getting ready for midnight mean to you? Like, we're a week and a half away from early access. What are you doing, if anything, in game, out of the game, to prep for the launch? Do you even care about the launch as much as you have in the past?
Yeah, launch is huge. Early access is such a game changer for me. It made the start of War Within like this magical experience where I could just, take the advice of the Pandarans and slow down and enjoy the story. And I'm looking forward to doing that again. I hope, Blizzard, if you're listening, and you might be, I hope that you never take away early access. And I realize that's not a popular take, but the spice must flow, and I will stand by my guns. Early access is a net positive for me, and that's all that matters.
I like that.
But no,
Spice must flow. I like
yeah, the spice must flow, man. I'm a big Dune fan, you see.
that.
And not just because Timothy Chalamet is proper handsome. It's a great series. But what does it look like for me? It's figuring out my mains. So what am I going to main in my CE team? What am I going to main in my AOTC team? And then what are alts going to look like? And then getting those characters in a situation where they're as geared as they need to be for the leveling experience. The great part of going into a new patch is you don't have to have everybody like tippy top maxed out. You can grab the 121 gear from this pre-patch event and you're ready to rock. If you see me touching my ear a lot, I apologize. I have extremely small ear holes.
It's all good, dude. My wife suffers from her ears are so tiny, and then the actual ear hole is so tiny. She has to get the smallest earbuds possible, and even then they don't work half the time.
Yeah, your wife and I might be related, or at least have an ancestor in the ear area. But yeah, so it's just getting those characters ready to go, deciding what it is, and then most of my prep outside of that is outside the game. It's running the dungeons on beta, reading guides, writing guides, getting ready for raid bosses, raid testing, all of that, so that I'm able to hit the ground running when that stuff opens up on March 17th. That's basically it. Yeah, it's a lot of homework.
That's funny. You said March 17th, which is of course the release of what is that Mythic Zero? No,
yeah,
that's Heroic and
week.
Mythic Zero.
Yeah,
and then the week after that is Mythic Plus and Mythic Rating, right?
Yeah, March 24th.
So we're still the season... 2 weeks. We're still 2 weeks away. Or I'm sorry, 2 months away from the big stuff coming out. But then less than 2 weeks away from early access. That's wild.
That's 1 month. Calendars are tough. I get it.
Oh my God, you're right, man. I'm so glad there are people here to correct my mistakes. Thank you, sir. You're right.
If we were 2 months away, you would have gave me. I'm like, hold on, We waited for way too long already.
Listen to me. We're not here to listen to me. We're here to listen to the experts here, people. Don't worry. No, I don't embarrass easily. It's all good. Drowsy, what are you doing, man? Like, because this may be a bold take, but I think I'm accurate in this assessment. You probably don't play the game the same way that, say, Sean and I do, right? You're more laid back, just going with the flow, doing things that aren't specifically raid related.
Yeah, pretty much so. I do like raiding. I mainly do Mythic Plus because obviously it's way more accessible. You don't have to have everybody there. You can just go, you can pug, you can do it with a guild, whichever you need to do. But yeah, for me, it's pretty chill. At the minute, like you said, Sean, picking mains and what are the alts going to be, it's such a hard decision now. I'm so torn between Warlock and Death Knight. I cannot decide because they're both such good classes. I know Affliction rework is so nice and Demonology is always good as well. But then Unholy rework is really good and I can tank as well if I want to. So I'm probably going to main one of those and just ult the other. But yeah, I agree that the points about early access because I know there's the bit of the uproar there about, it's pay to win and all that kind of stuff. But I do disagree with that. It's such a chill experience. You just get more time to just go in there and enjoy things. It doesn't feel like, right, launch is here, you've got 1 week, you've got to get everyone leveled up, geared to the point, do your Mythic World Tour, all that kind of stuff. You can just enjoy it for a good few weeks and then just be ready for when the more difficult content comes out. So yeah, it's quite a chill experience, really. Excited to hit the ground running though.
Me too, man. Damage, I saw you nodding there. Damage, is that how you feel too?
Yeah, but pretty much along the same lines of that. There's not really like too much of a rush and feeling when it comes to early access and being able to kind of get that start. So I do agree with everybody there 100%. If we're segueing into my input on this, then one of the biggest things that my community was talking about is like the whole gold farming and kind of getting that early access to just shooting straight to materials, all straight to auction house. Now, sorry if I'm exploiting a lot of you guys out there already, but this isn't my take. Not something that I'm going to be doing. I am going to kind of go along the lines of Sean and saying like more just enjoying the story, playing the game like how we remember to play it 20 plus years ago now, and then kind of getting right into it with those first 2 weeks to have. So that's where I'm really kind of excited about.
Yeah, for me, all of that Absolutely. I'm going to be doing everything you guys just said a few over the last few minutes. I know for me, one of my things that I've done for, I mean, literally since MOP was I would make a leveling guide and then share it with the community. If anyone remembers the Azeroth autopilot add-on from, you know, a few expansions ago, I was very much a part of that. And then when I quit in Shadowlands, I just, you know, stopped playing. And coming back in August or September when I started streaming again, I had to make the determination, do I want to get back into that? And I opted not to. Not that I don't want to help the community. I mean, it wasn't anything to do with that. But Sean, I think you said this a moment ago. If you don't have to play beta, don't play beta, or something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I've personally loved jumping into Mythic Plus on the beta. I think this first season is going to be a great first season. I love the dungeon pool. But I've very much avoided, I have not leveled once on beta, and that's very intentional. This is my first time going in completely blind to any expansion, not knowing the story, not knowing the quests or anything like that. And I'm going to be taking that weekend during early access and just enjoying it and just rolling with the punches and just having fun and not trying to min-max every little thing. So I love your perspectives. I share them, and I'm very excited for that. Do you guys think that with this being the second expansion in the World Soul Saga, are there any stakes at play here? Do you think Midnight is larger in any way than the War Within, or is it kind of just a continuation? I hear people chiming in on Twitch chat all the time saying, it just feels like another patch in the War Within. How does Midnight feel for you guys?
To me, it actually feels like Midnight is the true start of the World Within saga.
See, that's how I feel too. Continue.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you
continue.
said that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know if it was just me or what, but I felt so that the intro patch of War Within to me was some of the strongest storytelling, some of the strongest like first patch content we've ever had. Right across the board, the local stories were amazing. They moved me. The dungeons were great. The raid was great, and then it felt like we took a hard left into Undermine and then an even harder left into Koresh, and everything just sort of felt disjointed to me. And I felt like I was playing 3 different expansions as opposed to one cohesive story. And I attribute that to Chris Metza coming back on board of the team when he did, after stuff was already in development, and then them deciding to make it a trilogy. So for me, Midnight, I hope, and I have played through it on the beta, and the intro patch to Midnight is just as strong as War Within was. But I hope my core hope is that it continues to be a cohesive story throughout. It feels like the real start of the World Soul Saga to me, and I hope I'm not proven wrong. I think we know where we're going in point 1. So if that's the case, if that turns to be true, then it is carrying on this hopium that I have.
The point 1 thing, are you referring to the troll storyline? Yeah. What about you guys? Do you guys, as you were listening in, did you are you agreeing with what Sean is talking about?
Oh yeah. 100%. This one, I want to point on being, this is Chris's first real story since being back. Chris Metzen's first story actually since coming back to this role. So I'm really excited to see how that kind of comes into play. I am sad that I haven't seen him a lot like FaceTime as far as like information about that, but for good reason, because that's where the story kind of comes. But 100% agree. Once season 2 came out with Undermine, it took that huge left turn. It was like, whoa, okay, that's not what I expected. Like, it made sense with the Earth and maybe with relation to the actual world soul, but then when it just kind of switched story to just 100% Darkheart, it's like, okay. And then the Koresh, I guess, kind of made sense when we want to go into more of like what was the idea of the Darkheart, but then that's where it just went away from World Soul Saga entirely. So I'm hoping that Midnight gets us. It seems like Sean was saying with the intro story so far, it seems like it's getting us back on track. And then I think even just what I've seen so far, it excites me a little bit more even for the final episode of the saga with next expansion. So going that path, I'm really looking forward to what this story has to come. As long as it stays on a story and it makes sense and doesn't pivot like the War Within did, then I think we'll be good. But
I mean,
I'm not gonna speak too
that's
soon.
definitely that's definitely a thing. I Sean, you said it a moment ago, damage, you're following up on it. There was this weird pivot from, the War Within launched. Now we're going to Undermine. Now we're going to Koresh. And I'm not saying there's not what is it called? Like a thread line that runs through it or whatnot. There is, but it definitely felt a little weird to me. Not everyone's going to agree with that. I get it. Not everyone cares. Like for me personally, I don't care that much about the story. I don't play WoW for the story, but I'd still like it to be cohesive and fun. Anyway, Drowsy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the good thing about War Within is we've been through all that now, haven't we? And the story is kind of set. We've got all the setup there. So yeah, and the kicking off at midnight, like you were saying there, guys, it's seemingly a strong start. The intro quest to Silvermoon and everything like that. So yeah, I think we're set up for a really good one. Like I say, hopefully it stays on track and doesn't go too weird. When we get the 0.1 patches and the 0.2, and we might end up somewhere random that we weren't expecting. But I don't think that will happen. But who knows? Who knows?
Did anyone get excited about the roadmap that we saw a week or two ago? Did anything stand out to you? I mean, of course, for me, it's the raids between raids, but what else really excited you guys about that?
I'm the raid part is like the site that I'm most excited for, especially since my community is a mixture of vets to new players to returning players. To be able to go back and have that 1 to 2 to 6 person or 6 boss raid, and to have that flexibility of like, okay, we can do something along the lines of every aspect of difficulty depending on the raid that we want to go into. And then now seeing there's going to be 2 more raids down the line as we get into that aspect. I feel like there's been a repetition as with WoW lately where we're getting content we're getting more content, but spaced out in a more precise way to where it's not as, how do I say, like boring, maybe with an extra season 4 or some sort. So
Yeah,
that's how I've felt about with seeing that the world, the roadmap.
What about you, Drowsy? Did anything exciting stand up? Because you're not a raid guy, so what really jumped out for you?
Yeah, so with the raids, yeah, like you were just saying there, like having smaller raids, it is more accessible for sure. You don't have to commit an entire evening, like 3 hours to doing a raid. So that's nice. The labyrinths as well, being on there as an extension of delves too. Like we don't know much about them right now, do we? But that could be a really cool thing. Because the best thing about delves, obviously, you can start it, you can go and answer the door, you can go and make a drink, sort the kids out, whatever you need to do. And if labyrinths kind of carry that on as a super accessible thing that you can stop and start whenever you need to, then that's going to be great as well. But yeah, all good stuff, I think.
Sean, did the raids between raids shock you? Were you excited to hear? I'm assuming you were excited, but were you expecting it?
Not expecting it. Pleasantly surprised. I'm a big fan of Gruul's Lair and Meg Theridon from TBC, like original TBC, not this weird classic anniversary stuff. I know there's a lot of classic people and they love it for whatever reason, and they're all awful on Twitter, but I do like those raids. Sorry, offense intended. It was the positioning of BlizzCon that actually took me the most by surprise, because BlizzCon is on the roadmap as coming after season 2 starts. So we're getting 12.1 in August-ish. And then BlizzCon, we already know the dates of BlizzCon in September. So then we're getting BlizzCon for the season to be, and like, it's going to have to be, the patch is going to have to launch within like a 2-week period-ish of BlizzCon, or for it to be a 5-month patch. So you're looking at like mid-August. BlizzCon's coming like, I think, early to mid-September. So the Race to World First might still be going on. It could have maybe just ended, so we don't know what's going to happen there. But more importantly, we know at BlizzCon, we're having an on-stage, back for the first time, LAN event in MDI and AWC.
Oh.
And I think everybody thought that those were going to happen at the end of season 1. It was going to be the AWC championships and the MDI. But with the positioning in the second week of the season, or the third week of, like, are we looking at an MDI that starts on patch launch on AWC, or is it maybe a situation where it's just going to be like a ceremonial tournament and not the actual? It's very confusing to me. Seeing BlizzCon there just really threw me for a loop, and I would love if they released a revamped one where it's before season 1 start. That would be great for me.
Are you guys going to BlizzCon?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, me either, Drowsy. Not in the cards this year. We can watch the stream
ever.
online, buddy.
Watch the stream. BlizzCon online. We'll be there.
This is your first time going, Damage?
Yeah, it's my first time going. I'm actually super excited because I remember being that like 12, 13-year-old or whatever when the first, I don't want to say the first BlizzCon, but it was the bear, oh my gosh, the polar bear with the Murloc.
Oh yeah.
Now that was like, oh, even if you get the digital access to watch, you get them out. I'm like, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I beg my mom? She pays $15 a month already for my subscription. Why couldn't I have gotten digital pass to get that? So this is ever since then my very first time actually going. So I'm super excited about
I've only ever been once, and it's a ton of fun, man. I have no advice. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you need no, just enjoy it, dude. It's a blast. Sean, how many have you been to?
None. This will
What?
be my first. Yeah. I had
Nice.
tickets, hotel, and flight booked for 2023. And then something happened. I and my wife, neither one of us can remember what happened, but something happened that made me cancel my trip. So we have this like shared trauma that we both blocked.
Oh,
Don't know what it is, but we canceled our trip because of it. So this will be my first BlizzCon. So when I see you there, hugs are on me. Okay.
nice.
I'm gonna toss a t-shirt to you first time.
Nice.
First
Yes.
timers.
First
That's awesome,
timers,
man.
love, I like it.
It's one of my biggest memories, and it's funny that this is coming up right now because a gentleman stopped by my stream the other day, and he said, "Hey, Brutal, do you remember when you went to BlizzCon back in 2015? And there was that one random dude with his friend at a picnic table? That was me." And I'm like, "That was you?" So I'm just meeting people and connecting and just being able to put faces to Twitch names and stuff. There's nothing like it. It's genuinely one of the coolest experiences. But the food trucks, at least 10 years ago, were really good. So enjoy the food trucks, that's for sure. Man, that's awesome. I'm excited. Did you guys see this is a total change of subject here, but did you guys see the other day on Reddit and probably Twitter and everywhere else the how long has it been since an expansion has released post? Yeah, does anyone know what I'm talking about? Here, let me see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I got it pulled up on screen here. So I had to talk about this on the podcast today. And for anyone who's just listening, I'm sorry. I'll do my best to describe what we're looking at here. This is an image that somebody posted on Reddit saying, hey, it's been X number of days since like Embers of Neltharion has launched, since Shadowlands has launched. Do you guys know that it's been, what, let me see here, 3,500 days thereabouts since Legion launched? I mean, 10 years, right? Duh, that makes sense. But to hear it break down, it's been 4,100 days since WoD. It's been 2,000 days since Shadowlands. It's messing with my head. I don't know if you guys have been playing the game. I mean, I do know. I do know that most of you guys have been playing the game for as long as I have, if not longer. What is it? How does it make you feel knowing that Legion was 3,500 days ago, 10 years ago? How does that make you feel?
Old.
Old?
Yeah. Feel myself turning to dust.
Like for me, when Legion, so my son was born, I think 4 days before Legion launched, so it was just a whirlwind experience. But I find it so interesting that so many of us are still, this may not come across the right way, but I find it so interesting that so many of us are still here, still enjoying the game, still having fun, in our case, still making content. And it's amazing to me that a game like WoW has, it's just amazing that the game has lasted as long as it has. And like, what do you guys attribute that to? Good design? I mean, that's debatable, right? Depending upon who you ask. Is it just attachment to our characters and the world? Like, what keeps you guys around?
Definitely a few things, isn't it? Yeah.
Those are two very valid things that you just said right there, as it is too. Other than probably characters, the memories made with probably the people that we played with around those times. First thing that comes to my mind is when I think about how long ago those expansions that came out, I can almost vividly remember playing it for the first time, day one, when it, so those memories, that kind of come to mind and keep me going. By the time season 2, season 3 comes, I was drifting away a little bit more, but the hype for the next expansion, no matter how bad maybe the last one was or that feeling was, I think that hype. So that's where I'm like, I'm really hoping Midnight isn't that way going into it, but I don't think it is with how it's felt this past couple expansions, or at least War Within, maybe even Dragonflight. But that feeling of going into it is what kept me at least going with World of Warcraft.
Yeah. It's also the fact that it never ends as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. It just keeps going, for better or for worse. Good patches, bad patches. Yeah. How long have you been playing Drowsy?
Since like the end of vanilla. Yeah, okay, I had no idea what I was doing, but since then, yeah.
None of us did, bud. It's all good. Yeah, it's crazy that it's crazy because Sean and I guess we were all talking about it, but Sean and I used to play EverQuest, obligatory EverQuest shout out, and that game's still going. It's on year 20, like the 26 or 27, which is just insane. I guess it's 27 this year, and WoW's not far behind it, and it's wild, and it's so amazing that again, through all the ups and downs, all the different changes, all the different developers, we're still here, we're still hanging out, and I really want Midnight to be. I mean, we all do. I can't imagine anyone wants Midnight to fail. I guess maybe there are some people. Sean was referring to some weirdos out there, and I guess there are some weirdos out there that want people to fail and businesses to fail and games to fail and whatnot. But I just want Midnight to be fun. What are you guys looking forward to the most with Midnight these first few weeks?
Let me think on that one.
Just prepping, getting ready for Mythic Plus and raiding.
Yeah,
See, for me,
really like exploring it all.
Yeah, for me, there's nothing better than that feeling of wiping the slate clean. Everyone's on level footing, gearing reset. Have to level up, have to explore these new areas. There's nothing like it in gaming, man. It is peak content or peak enjoyment for me.
And I'd like to add to that real quick. Not only is it just exploring new areas, it's new existing areas that are revamped up in the north, in the Eastern Kingdom. So
yes,
they doubled the size of the entire northern continent, or northern part of that continent. So even though it doesn't geologically make sense from what we used to seeing, it's apparently always been there. I'm not gonna spoil anything for beta, but it just looks so good. It feels so good. That's one thing I will say is very exciting for the first couple of weeks going into it.
What about you, Sean?
That return to Silvermoon, right? Like I started playing in vanilla. It was around the BWL patch 1.6, I think. And I played with friends, and I, like Drowsy mentioned, I didn't really know what I was doing. I don't really still know what I'm doing. But then Burning Crusade came out, and I hard pivoted to Blood Elf Paladins. They're tanking. And I have such fond memories of Eversong Woods and the Ghostlands and the quests out of Tranquillion, and much fewer responsibilities as an adult than I have now. And it's going back to that. We're returning there. I'm swapping. I mained Paladin this tier, but it was a Dwarf Paladin. I'm swapping back to my original Blood Elf Paladin for my AOTC team for next year, and just going there and just immersing myself in that region again and trying to capture some of that memory. I think is what I'm most excited for, and to see the story grow, because you asked why is the game been still going strong, and other than sunk cost fallacy, I think a lot of it is that it's still fun and we still enjoy it. So that story, I think, is a big part of that.
I just laughed at that sunken cost fallacy, but it's absolutely true. I'd argue that's one of the main reasons why most MMOs nowadays have trouble gaining traction, gaining a following, is so many people have 5, 10, 20 years invested in characters and games and stories and friends and guilds, and it's rough, man. That's a whole other topic, like how the MMO industry is right now and how things are going right now. So we're not going to get into that. That's what sprang to my mind. So great feedback. Did any of you guys have any luck this week with your Valentine's Day mounts? Oh, what'd you get?
Rocket and Butterfly. Let's go.
Oh, you got both. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I'm still missing the broom, though. I think there's still the broom that dropped. So I'm missing that one. Actually, I didn't get a chance to go for that yesterday, but we did it.
Well, good luck to anyone out there who's still chasing them. Much like you, sir, I got really lucky with the. It's funny because I've never been a mount guy. It's not that I don't like them. I just never really cared. But I recently installed an add-on called Light Mount, LITE, and it summons just a random mount. So you don't have to favorite it. Right now in game, you have to favorite mounts and then use the summon favorite mount button. This add-on just pulls a random mount out of your journal. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should pursue and collect a few more mounts. And I queued up for it. I got the Butterfly on day 1. I got the Rocket on day 4, whatever it was, and it felt pretty good. I've never really cared, but it felt pretty good. How many mounts do you guys have? You talked about Touchpad Warrior a minute ago. Damage. That guy has over 1,300, which is insane.
Yes, and I've actually found that some of my community are almost up to him too. I'm like, how the hell? Like, I'm around the 400-ish range, not even peeking up to that new 600 mount drop, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how they do that.
It's crazy. What about you guys? How many do you have, Drowsy?
I've got, I think 810 thereabouts.
Dang. That's a lot. Good.
I'm not a hardcore collector, but I do put the time in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
clearly,
content, farming mats, but yeah.
Jeez, Sean, what about you?
I'm only like a 500 boy, and that's accidental. It's not. None of that is intentional. If I get
That's even more impressive. Let's be real.
We have a gentleman. I assume it's a gentleman. OG Mad Monk in Twitch chat says they have 1,400. Are there even? I think that's a lie. That can't be Are there even 1,435 mounts in the game?
You can check on the website, can't you? Simple Armory.
I think if you consider both factions, possibly.
Oh, both factions. Okay. There are 1,500 plus. I guess I'll take the experts' opinion or whatever you want to call it over here. That's crazy, OG Mad Monk. My goodness. Hey, don't forget that if anyone here is listening live, you can type in the command question to submit a question to these guys, and I'll ask them during the podcast, whatever the heck you want to ask them. The next poll, by the way, asks the question, so far, do Midnight's recent changes make you more confident or more cautious? And this is a really pretty even split. It's about 25% across the board between more confident, more cautious, mixed, or too early to tell. So what about you guys? I think it's a little too early to tell personally, but I'm not trying to lead the witness. What do you guys think? Recent changes, more confident, more cautious? Where do you land?
I'd like to offer some spice if there's space for it here, sir.
Sir, you can make as many Dune references as you want. Go.
I believe that the changes specifically to classes in Midnight is a massive net positive. The simplification, the removal of complexity, the simplification of classes is going to be a huge strength for people trying new classes, but also there's a large portion of the player base that isn't very good at doing the complex rotations we have, and I'm among them. I am among you.
A lot of you guys suck, all right?
Yeah, but with a reduced complexity, everybody's floor gets raised, so content gets a little bit easier to clear, things get a little bit easier to deal with, and it doesn't require you getting screamed at by a raid leader. Hopefully, you're not getting screamed at by a raid leader. If you are, leave the raid. There are plenty of raids where that won't be happening. But yeah, I think it's a net positive overall. Even just looking at Brewmaster went from one of the most complex tanks to play. One of the ones that if you asked any tank, hey, what should I try? That's the one they would recommend last. And Brewmaster now is arguably the easiest tank to play. So we're gonna have a lot of brew boys out there, and brew girls. So
I've heard Brewmaster's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I need to definitely take a look at that. I'm going with Prot Warrior just because that's what I've been mobbing on with War Within for a while, and I've Warrior for the longest time ever, but I need to take a look into that. And as far as recent changes, I don't know. It feels like with everything that they've been doing, and this is more of I would say a personal preference. I have met a lot of people who have agreed, a lot of people who have disagreed, but I feel like with a lot of the changes, there've only been positives, kind of like, or how do I say this? There's only been a good feeling of this expansion. I think kind of just adds on to that going into the expansion, just feeling good about playing it. There are some class changes, unfortunately, like my Windwalker monk friends that are hurting, but I think this most recent update that they just dropped out that they're supposed to be releasing in the beta might make them a little bit happier, but I think with some of the more recent class changes or changes in general, it's been pretty good, in my opinion. I've been feeling pretty good about those.
Do you have anything to add, Mr. Drowsy?
I think with things like the patch notes for the tuning and stuff, I think people panic a little bit about that kind of stuff, and it's understandable why when you see a class getting tanked. But I think we've got to remember that it's like it's still pre-patch, and pre-patch is always a weird time. So these changes are more likely based around when we're level 90 and we've got everything else, and it'll be fine. Of course, it'll be fine.
I subscribe to the idea. I'd actually rather be underpowered going into an expansion, because then you're more likely to have things dialed up for you. I mean, maybe that's not historically true.
Hopefully,
in all cases, but that's my hopium or copium, kicking in there. Like if BM or MM is they're not performing super duper well, might see a little dial tune there. Who knows?
Yeah, much better to be a bottom than a top when it comes to beta.
You know what? We're just gonna move on from that, and we're gonna talk about. What about this whole Hearthsteel situation? What do you guys have any opinion or any perspective on this whole paid currency thing? Do you think it's crossing a line? Do you care? I mean, people care. Maybe we should all care, but where do you guys fall on this?
I think it's. Sorry, go.
No, you go. I don't mind going first, but it's going to be spicy. So
go. I want to hear the spicy part first, because I mean, go ahead.
So I should preface this by saying I'm super indifferent, but I am also a self-proclaimed pro shop enjoyer. I want more things in the eShop. If my being a whale allows the cost of the monthly sub to stay low for everyone else,
There you
then
go.
I feel like I'm doing
That's how
my
I
part.
feel. Yes,
There you
I hate to
go.
talk over guests. I'm so sorry, but that's always how I've felt. I'm going to shut up. Please continue.
That's okay. That's okay. Hearthsteel, when they announced Hearthsteel, obviously the masses freaked out. That's what we do. It's, but I feel like they nailed it. Like they said, we're not going to be predatory. We're not going to do those pricing things where like an item costs 150 and you can only buy 100. We're not going to do bundles that incentivize spending more than you want to spend. And they absolutely 100% nailed all of those marks. These are US prices. So if you're in the EU or UK, you are getting kind of shafted on the exchange rate. I apologize. This doesn't count for you. You can still be angry. But if you're in the US, it's $1 for 100 coins. It's $100 for 1,000 for 10,000 coins or whatever it is. There's no cheaper amount there. And so far, what they've released, it's 100 coins to buy a cute little lion or a cute little wolf. And if you want to buy 8 of them because you have an addiction to plushies, they actually give you a discount on that, which I don't think negatively incentivizes it in a predatory way. I'm pro Hearthstone. And because I'm a firm believer in speaking with your wallet, I don't really engage with housing as much as some of the real housing diehards do. And I have no interest in either of these adorable plushies in game. I would buy them in real life in a second. But I am going to probably buy Hearthsteel that I don't want, to buy plushies that I won't use, to send the message to Blizzard that this works.
Yep. I got to follow up to this because I wholeheartedly agree. I was in chat of another content creator and good friend, Caleb the Game Doc. I don't know if any of you guys have seen his content on Twitch and whatnot, but this question actually came up in his chat, and he mentioned specifically like World of Warcraft has been a game that we've been playing for 2 decades. It's a game that we want to, like, if we love this game, we're going to help it out as much as we can. I'm gonna put money towards the game because it's just something that, one, like you said earlier, we've invested so much time into it, and it's just where we're always going to be. And on top of that, I would love to even bring the prices lower down for subscriptions. So if I have to pay more and get something back on a continuous basis to get that price down, 100%, let's do that. But like you said, it's not complex. It's also, the best part about it, it's optional. It's not, if anything, unlike maybe, not to go off too topic, but like Diablo Immortal, it's not pay to win. It's, and especially for the housing side of things, I think if for those of you guys in chat who have seen houses online, people don't need the pay for things to make incredible things in housing. People have made some astonishing structures, faces, more murals and stuff like that, but just based off of things you can buy in your neighborhood with gold. So you don't have to buy it. You don't have to stay along the lines of the store and the shop, but we will. At least Sean and I will. But we definitely will. But yeah, that's my intake on that too.
Yeah.
So,
and you can buy it with gold. You can just
You
use
can
in-game
buy
gold
with
to
gold,
buy
yeah.
a token.
mhm.
It's an in-game purchase. Sorry, I'm so sorry. People get so angry.
Drowsy,
I
how do
hope
you feel
Drowsy's
about
not
it?
the one to get
Do
angry.
you have an opinion at all? Do you care?
No, I agree. I'm not going to be drowning in plushies personally myself, but I mean, I might buy some. But it was quite funny how we knew it was coming. It was mentioned a long time ago, wasn't it? So we knew it was coming. People got mad at that point. People are going to get mad again. It's fine. People do what they do. But it was quite funny that, was it 2 days ago, that it's just like, oh, there's a thing on the shop now. Oh, there's a housing tab. Oh, there's 2 plushies. It just kind of randomly appeared, didn't it? There's
Yeah.
no like announcement for it.
Yeah. No, we were, and
then it went
everybody
off.
jumped on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it went off, and then the service went down. It came back again, and it had gone, and then it came back the day after. But bit strange. But yeah, it's like you say, it's completely optional. There's no power, and like you were saying, there, it's a really good point that you can make similar things just with the base things, woolen circular rugs. You can do a lot with a circular rug.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's optional. Why not? And it supports the game, like you say. If you want to put some more money to the game, we should be able to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's something I've been saying for years. Is why do they sell mounts and pets and stuff? It's like this is just the way. I'm not saying this is definitively it, but the way I've always seen it is like you just said, Sean. If people buying mounts and everything else on the shop prevents the monthly sub from rising in price. I mean, because has it ever risen in price in the past 20 years for US players? I know it has in other countries.
Okay.
I don't think it has for US players, right?
No, I think it's been $15 a month since forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Going down ever so
raised.
slightly with the longer term that you get.
Yeah. I'm sure that there will be someone that pops up in YouTube, and I highly encourage anyone to come at this from a different angle, please. That's part of the whole fun of having YouTube is leaving comments. So go for it. But if anyone out there has a different take or different opinion, please feel free to share that. I'd love to hear why it may not be such a good thing, or why what we aren't seeing in relation to this conversation. I think someone, maybe it was you, Sean, said that something about no player power or in the shop, right? Not pay to win. What about the I'm not gonna start the conversation. I want one of you guys to start the conversation, but when housing was pitched, no player power was attached to it. Now there's a weekly crest quest that was announced this week. Do you guys care? Again, do you care? Do you see this as a problem, as a big deal?
You know what? It's funny you said that, because when I was reading that earlier, at least in our before the stream, I was actually very confused. I was like, wait, what? And then I had to look it up. I'm like, oh, I missed this announcement. And to be honest, it doesn't bother me. In fact, I mean, housing was brought to the game to resurrect the community aspect of World of Warcraft, which was slowly dying. Well, I don't even say slowly. It was technically dying without having to go out there and actually find a community if you wanted to. Housing, I felt, has brought a different side of creative people together. And I actually see more chat bubbles above people's heads talking inside of housing situations more than I ever had in the past 10 years, maybe, with World of Warcraft. So being that now that you can get rewarded for doing something like that is a plus for me, in my opinion. And again, goes back to being optional. It's like transmogs and mounts. You don't have to do it in WoW. You can do a lot of other things without it. So in my opinion, it doesn't bother me that they're doing something like that, even though it kind of goes against what Ian said. That was a little bit funky, but still, it doesn't bother me that they're going to do something along those lines. What
about Sean? What about you? Do you have a perspective on it as somebody who engages in the high level PvE content and community?
Yeah, am I concerned that getting 3 gilded crests from a weekly house thing is going to somehow impact the competitive advantage to high-end play? Is that what we're asking? Listen,
absolutely,
folks,
buddy.
If this is the thing, if like we can't, the community uses outrage as a tool to let Blizzard know when something is drastically wrong that they feel strongly about, and they did this with the transmog costs when they came out. And again, I was indifferent because I have more money than brains. I don't really care. But it was a thing that people felt strongly about, and they used that tool exceptionally well. Blizzard heard them, and they lowered the costs accordingly. But if your only tool is a hammer, then every problem becomes a nail. And these, I just can't imagine being upset. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to get my 3, and don't take the crests. That's the dumbest. Take the enchanting mats, take the purple gemstones, and put them on the auction house and sell them. And there's your money paying for your upgrades that you were also upset about that Blizzard, I think, also nailed. We'll talk about that later. It's, man, the Void is out here literally eating babies, and we're upset that we can get crests in a housing thing. Like, dang. There's got to be, the spice must flow, but maybe not on this.
Yo, clip that one. That one was good. That was good.
Just cooking.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't really care. Brutal.
No, yeah, me either. And on top of that, it's correct me if I'm wrong. It's such an like, don't you literally just have to go hang out in a house with 4 other people for 0.1 second or something like that?
Yeah.
Now listen, I do want to say I don't like, the not power creep, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, we're going to sprinkle this in, and then the next patch is going to be that much more and that much more. I don't want it to escalate to a point to where it does become a problem. I personally don't see a problem with this. I personally could not care less. And because it's such an easy thing to do, it's just my take. It's just to encourage people to interact with and use the housing system. I think it's an awesome system. I think a lot of people would agree with that. So it can be a slippery slope. I hope it doesn't lead in that direction. It can be, but I think Blizzard probably has a pretty good understanding of what they're doing in this case. So on the other side of that coin, real quick, let's flip an imaginary coin here. exchange. Okay, so in War Within, we had Valor Stones. Valor Stones are gone this week. Blizzard said, hey, now it's going to cost gold to upgrade your gear in addition to crests. Why do you think they, like, I've heard takes all over the place with this one. Like, oh my God, you know, why can't it just remain crests? Why are we introducing another currency on top of it? Some people say it's like 4,000 gold. It's not that big of a deal. Again, do you guys care? Where do you fall on in this argument?
Personally, I feel like it gives gold just an actual purpose in a game. If you're not in the auction house, other than repairs, like you should technically just be stacking money, especially with the new transmog system where you can just set things in and just rotate through your transmogs repetitively. You should be just racking gold as is, especially through the beginning leveling process, you know? So I don't think it's an issue. I don't really care if they have a second currency. And if anything, if they made it gold, I would prefer gold because Valor Stones was a pain in the butt to collect regardless. So being that they chose gold, it at least gives that currency a meaning. We haven't had gold being a meaning for so long. Then, you know, let's be grateful that we're at least using it to upgrade armor, because back in vanilla, even having 10 silver was like, oh shit, how the hell did you get 10 you know? So
buy a new badge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you got a gold? Holy cow! Like one gold coin was amazing. So
It was a big deal.
It was, but yeah, I don't have a problem with it at all. In fact, I would prefer it if there is going to be a second currency.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's frustration, those who are frustrated by it, are on the beta for weeks and months now. It's been just crests. Valor Stones have been removed from the equation. Why introduce a gold sink this far into beta right before launch? Why can't it just be crests? I mean, like you said, what else is gold used for the most? But for the average player, like, what is gold used for? I know some people in my Twitch chat say, man, I only have 10,000 gold. I only have 20,000 gold. I'm sitting on, I think it's about 15 million that I got literally 10 years ago in Legion from the table. And I know that doesn't exist anymore, so people can't take advantage of that system. So, I mean, what do you say to people who just don't have gold? Like, go make some gold? Like, well, what is the answer there?
I mean, do we think these people that don't have gold and can't afford the mats for raiding have mythic pieces of equipment they're trying to upgrade that cost 4,000 gold?
You elitist, listen here, you.
I don't know. Do your weekly housing quest and sell the enchanting mats.
That's it. It's not hard to get a bit of gold. Is it just some world quests? Because you've got to think as well, like with world quests and things like that, where there's gold on the map. Maybe they used to give a Valor Stone reward, but now there's going to be gold, right? So you can just go and do that instead. And it's not that hard. There's gold out there just lying on the floor to be found if you want to go and get it, right?
Just open your map, you'll see an exclamation point. Go run that real quick, and you might get some gold from that. Or one thing I told my community is, if you are still transmog farming or mount farming, go run some legacy raids and sell the stuff you get from there. That makes a lot of people some decent amount of gold too. Hopefully with, you know, the squish and all that coming up. But other than that, I feel like making gold in the game should not be of someone's concern at this point.
No.
Yeah, I will say, if I may interrupt you, Damage, may I?
No,
thank you.
Good there.
So I am not I don't care about gold in the game, only because I have enough to you know, facilitate my needs and whatnot. That said, don't listen to me, but if you were to listen to me, the beginning of an expansion is a really good time to make gold. If you have alts, if you have time, if you have whatever, you can make some gold. And I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I did in the War Within real quick. I have one of each class at max level. Every one of those characters in the first season of the War Within was a jewel crafter and an enchanter. I went into the professions tree and I built toward, I think it was like cursed haste or something like that. And so multiple times a week, I would make like cursed haste enchants and a couple of, what were the gems called? The special gems?
Blasphemite?
Yeah, Blasphemite. I'd make a couple of Blasphemite gems. And I'd make, you know, 10, 20K per character every 2 or 3 days or whatever it was. Just rinse and repeat. Very simple. The add-on I use is called Craft Sim. It tells you how much gold you can get in profit based on your auction house prices in your region. And it's as simple as that. And I'm not saying everyone would enjoy that or everyone cares to do that, but that's how I did it. So like these guys are saying, there are ways to make gold in the game. So if you're struggling to make gold, take a beat, take a moment, ask other content creators, go look up a guide, see, you can sell decor things, you can go farm old raids like I think Damus just said. There are means to achieving that. So anyway, I don't know if anyone else had anything. Yeah.
I do want
please,
to
please.
one more. Two things. I want to add on to yours. It's even easier than that. Just go get the profession bag that they give you for free at max level. Take enchanting and sell those on the auction house. Do it on all your alts. Make all your alts an enchanter. Get the profession bag. There's an easy 30K.
You talking about with disenchanting?
Yeah. So when you go into you get like a quest. Hey, which profession do you want to do? If you pick enchanting, they literally give you a bag of materials, and then just sell them. Just put and you can do it for all your alts.
Okay.
But the part that I just wanted to sort of wrap on this is that with the transmog system, when it came out and the prices were really high, and people were really upset about that justifiably, and they came out and they said, hey, the cost of the slots are too high, the cost of transmog is too high, and Blizzard heard that, and there was multiple rounds of lowering that cost to get it to a point that was good. When this upgrade gold cost got announced, it launched at a really low price. And instead of saying, hey, Blizzard, you heard us in the transmog stuff and you did what we would want from the beginning on this, we're still mad at them. Like, if I was a Blizzard dev, I would feel like Ryan Gosling in The Rain asking, what do you want? We, the community, are Rachel McAdams, and the devs are Ryan Gosling. And it's like, what? I don't understand.
Okay. Hold on.
Sorry.
Time out.
My wife's going to like that reference.
I think you just said that. I think you just said The Ring. I think you meant The Notebook, sir. All right.
Sorry, I did mean The Notebook. Yeah, The Ring.
All right.
Ring is a
I heard him say in the rain when they were in the rain, and he's saying that to her. What?
Yeah.
I thought you said The Ring. I see.
No, in the rain.
The Ring. Yeah.
I misheard. I apologize. Hey, real quick tangent, has nothing to do with WoW. You guys excited for Project Hail Mary next month? To Ryan Gosling. Oh, you don't. Okay, listen. This has nothing to do with WoW. There's a movie coming out next month called Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling starring in it. It's based on a book by the author Andy Weir. Great book. I'm a big fan of the audiobook version of that because Ray Porter is the narrator. Anyway, total tangent. But if you like sci-fi, go read and or listen to Project Hail Mary, and then feel free to go enjoy the movie next month when it comes out. Anyway,
is that when he makes friends with a space Earth elemental?
Yeah,
or something like that. Out there?
He's not an astronaut, and they're like, "You're going to space." Is that the
dude?
one?
It's
okay, cool.
Such a good book. Oh my god,
right.
I can't wait. Anyway, speaking of random things, Arcantina. Has Blizzard even talked about the Arcantina up until this week when they made that little like, hey,
no.
Here's an Arcantina thing. You should go hang out there next expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys been in it on the beta?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool space.
And I think that's one reason why it hasn't came up yet, is because it's so focused in beta as far as like a kind of part of the main quest type of deal.
Yeah.
So I think that might be why it hasn't come up so much. But I think it's gonna be a good little added taste. It's not gonna be I don't think it's gonna be a very important part of the expansion, but I think it's gonna be a good little added taste to the game.
Yeah, I think it's just there. Somebody in Twitch chat or any of you guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's just there to add that flavor, like you're saying, just something fun, something additional, something that's not normally present in your everyday average WoW experience. I've been in the building. I think the building is really comfy and cozy. It's very much gives that WoW housing vibe that we're all experiencing right now, building our houses and stuff. I think it's cool. I personally love when they bring back what happened to damage?
Sorry, camera's having some weird issues. I apologize. This happens on stream sometimes, so we're fixing it right now.
He's back.
You might see me blink.
But yeah, I love when they bring back old characters or old spaces and whatnot. Do you guys have anything that you're excited about in regards to the Arcantina?
I think like going in first time is going to be quite nice because it's got that. There's a story reason why it's there, isn't there? It's Khadgar and is it the Sons of Lothar? They're all kind of hang out after missions and things that we go back there and chill. So it's quite nice to be like, oh, this is where the guys came in on. We're now in there as well with them. I think mechanically for obviously Blizzard putting stuff in the game, it's just somewhere for things to be, isn't it? So I'm assuming there's going to be some achievement to get where it's like, go to the Arcantina, speak to these guys, get the quest, do the quest for the week, and just make sure you do that. And then once you've done them all and you've seen all the visitors, maybe it'll kind of run out of steam a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully not. But of course, they can just chuck things in there anytime, can't they? Oh, there's a different visitor this time, or like, there's a new season, so there's new visitors. So yeah, should be maybe not so much in really evergreen thing, but
we had
maybe
something like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to remember. I'm old at this point in time, but in the garrisons, we had an NPC show up. Was it weekly with a new quest to go find a new follower? Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly? Somebody can probably explain
when it came to
that
Garrisons kind of killed me for a while back then. So I was like, oh man, I don't know, I have to do this.
Yeah, I think an NPC would show up saying, "Hey, this follower that you don't have, if you take my quest, you can go do this quest to get that follower," and it would send you out in the world somewhere. So is that kind of what the Arcantina is? Not for followers. I know we don't have followers, but they're going to pick up a quest saying, "Hey, here's a little tidbit of lore. Go out in the world, do this, come back. We'll talk about it." Is that what's going on with the Arcantina?
I think so.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, I think it's almost kind of like cycling in a way, almost like silent. What's it called? The Siren Isles for the War Within, where we're gonna have a cycle of different NPCs that are coming through, which I think puts the Arcantina in a more filler spot for when things kind of get down and solo-ish and kind of, I don't want to say boring, but we're bored as far as you're caught up with all your stuff. Okay, well, let's see what's going on in Arcantina. So I think that's where that filler part of it comes into play.
Gotcha. Speaking of boring, would you argue that the Xal'atath little animation that came out this week not boring? Sean, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Did you enjoy it? Do you care about Xal'atath? Is she a character that you're a fan of?
Damage! I'm sorry.
We've lost damage control. I like Xal'atath as a villain, and I thought the trailer they released was quite good. I love seeing all the lore theories on it. I am only moderately concerned that we're painting a path for her to become a sympathetic character down the road that we then side with in some great cosmic battle against the light, and that would probably be where I quit the game if that happens, because I am not interested in siding with the enemy again. It was really, Koresh was really hard for me for that reason.
I do agree with you, and I'm not just trying to be agreeable. I do genuinely feel the same way. I want, listen, this is a fictional world. I don't like evil in my real world, but evil in video games and stories is fun because it gives you something to combat, something to butt heads with, something to go up against. I want my bad guys in video games to be bad guys. You know what I mean? And I very much in the same way. I hate when it's like, okay, we're going to be, we're going to work hand in hand. We're going to work side by side with Xal'atath because we got to go beat up Dimensius. I understand what they're trying to accomplish. I just don't like, because at the beginning of the expansion, she's murdering people. She's, coercing people. She's doing this. She's doing that. And now by the end of the expansion, I know she was tricking us. I'm not saying we're actually BFFs. I just don't like that person. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have much preferred a storyline where we were given the option to choose work with Locust Walker and Xal'atath or side with Hilaria, who I also think never in a million years would have agreed to work with Xal'atath no matter what. We'll work with her along and then have those storylines meet up at the end at Maniforge Omega. It felt, I was really unhappy with the Koresh story for that reason. It just felt like they robbed us of player agency, and it's like, oh, working with her is the only way. Like, I have fought literal cosmic gods. I could probably figure something out. So that was really tough. That was really tough for me. And it's like, oh, well, we knew she was lying. Yeah, everybody knew she was lying. Everybody, it's a lot. So I like the trailer. And I hope that it leads to more exploration of her background and her history. I just really hope it doesn't turn out that, she became the way she became because she was really mad at the light, and the light is the real bad guy. And now we're all going to work together. And don't worry, she surely won't betray us this time. That's my concern.
Go ahead. Someone else chime in. Did you guys have something else to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's gonna hate me for this, but one of my favorite things to say about villains, because it goes with any villain, is villains aren't made. No, I'm sorry, villains aren't born. They're made. You know, they were something kind of made them become that way in a way. You know, with Hellscream, with Illidan, or you know, in certain aspects that made them a villain. This quick little cinematic kind of gave us more of a deeper past of Xal'atath, rather just, you know, things with going with the old gods and stuff like that, and brought her to her childhood. I would like to see more of that. So it actually builds character to someone brand new that we've only ever really seen in person in the War Within, other than a dagger, you know, and some side lore that maybe some people missed when playing WoW. Right. This might come off as a completely new character to some people, and then to others who are hardcore into the lore, this might be someone who's been around for a while. But I think kind of getting more of that backstory to her was really exciting.
Yeah. I love the story components. I said earlier in the podcast, like, I'm just not a story guy when it comes to WoW. There have been too many downs and the ups and downs for me to really care at this point in time. Personally, speaking for myself, Shadowlands ruined it all for me. I have not recovered from the Shadowlands lore debacle. Some may not call it a debacle, but that's how I see it. And I just don't care about the story anymore. That said, I still want to care. I would like to care. I just don't care anymore because, well, just because. I don't know. Anyway, Drowsy, did you have anything you wanted to add to this?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like you've been burned too many times by the story. It's like if you've got a good like book series or film series, you're like, yeah, this is going to be good. I know it's going to be good, but it's like, the WoW story, like, is it going to be good? And this time it's good, and then next time, that was a bit crap. And then you don't know what you're going to get. So it's like, why devote all this energy to it if it might be a complete flop in the end?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is why I think it's really important to get this story right, and it lands well. And it, like you say, Xal'atath continues to be a good villain and makes us feel stuff. And they mentioned obviously people are going to die in this one, some big characters, so that could be quite spicy as well. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
As damage comes in and out on camera, I'd like to remind everybody of about an hour ago when Brutall said, "This is the easiest setup I've ever had for the show."
I know,
dude. You cursed it.
This happens all the time where I use a DSLR camera, so the dummy battery I think is just getting too hot at some points, and it never used to do this until recently. I'm like, oh no, here we go. So I'm sorry if you guys see me black out, and if anything, you want to put my little face behind me in case it does.
You know, it's funny. I was actually about to pull up MS Paint and draw like a smiley face and put it.
That's fine too. You can do that.
No, but in all seriousness, speaking as a content creator, but also someone who's a techie and someone who you don't need to apologize, man. We all understand. Both of us who are on the show and those who are watching and listening, we get it, dude. You don't need to apologize. Yeah, I had something else I was going to ask. Of course, now I forget, so it's not that big of a deal. But I do want to jump ahead, or not jump ahead, but I do want to talk about this next poll. Let's see, which one? Where are we at? Poll? Oh, this is the third one, right? So earlier in the show, we established right around the corner, we're a week and a half away. The poll asks, what matters most in the first 72 hours of expansion? And an overwhelming majority said stability and performance. I'm actually shocked that someone said progression systems in the first 70. Who is it? Who did it? The first 72 hours of an expansion, progression systems? Get out of here. I can understand the whole class feel thing. But yeah, stability and performance. I was not around for Dragonflight and the War Within, like day one stuff. How have the expansion launches been the last couple of expansions? Are you worried about Midnight at all?
War Within felt good.
Right? Yeah, it just was like just
the War Within felt. I was actually kind of more surprised that I was able to play the War Within.
Did the War Within have early access as well?
It did. Yes. And I played it and I disappeared just like that. But I played it and it felt really smooth. It felt really good. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think that early access has a lot to do with that? It's kind of splitting that load.
It must help a bit for sure. Yeah.
Smart move, Blizzard. Smart move, Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did Dragonflight have? Early release?
Dragonflight did not have early access, and the blimp got despawned and took people to places that weren't the Dragon Isles, and it was just awful. It was an awful experience. War Within's was chef's kiss. It was so smooth. It was buttery smooth. It was amazing. I attribute it entirely to early access. Yeah,
that excites me because again, I wasn't really in that beginner experience. I did play season 1. Maybe I was there for launch, but I was so disengaged. That's a Hunter joke with the experience. I just don't remember it. I'm glad to be back. All of that to say, I'm so glad to be back, man. Taking a break there in Shadowlands was absolutely the right call for me, and I know a lot of people did that. Some people went to 14. I personally went to Lost Ark and played a little bit of Hearthstone, played a little bit of EverQuest TLP servers. But I'm genuinely glad to be back, and I think it's a matter of like I'm happy to be caring about something to this degree again. Does that resonate? Does that make sense to you guys?
100%.
100%.
We put a lot of time into it, don't we? Playing it, making content. So if it sucks, then what are we doing? You know. But yeah,
that's what literally turned my pivoting point for content creation in general. Was just I had it just something kind of changed in my mindset when it came to streaming and content, where I was like, when I'm not playing a FPS game or Overwatch, Valorant, all these other things, when I'm not playing those, I'm checking World of Warcraft, seeing what's going on in WoW, and then I've been doing that forever and on and off expansions. But Dragonflight, since the beginning of Dragonflight going into World Within, I've been more consistent with staying online. So that's when, back in I think September, I just said, you know what, let's just make this change. Talk to my family, talk to my wife, talk to close friends of mine who play World. Well, the only 6 other people in my guild with our 300 alts that we have in the guild that made up our guild at the time. I just decided, you know what, let's grow off of this. And I think that's,
Heck yeah, man. Well, so Drowsy, are you playing with people for launch? Are you playing solo? Like, do you have a community you're playing with, or guild, or what's going on there?
So we got the guild. So that's one thing I'm excited for, because like us guys, we're in the beta, we see things, but the majority of the guild don't do that. So they've done some keys, so it's going to be really cool. Like, I've seen things for the first time, albeit in a bit of a testing state, but seeing everybody come through, and it's like, oh my god, did you see the thing in Silver Moon and all that? I love all that kind of together. But when it comes to playing, absolutely going to be chilling Discord with the guild and chatting, and my girlfriend plays as well, so she'll be sat at the side of me playing together. But I do not actually play with anyone else, right? This is a thing that I have. Do you not find it really hard to quest with someone? Because when you quest,
I do.
You got you need 10 bare butts, and you're like, well, I got 7 of you. Oh, you got 10. You can move on to the next quest. And one of you's got to wait, and it's all clunky. So when we did the War Within launch, me and my girlfriend together for the first time, it was a little bit like she was ahead and I was ahead. So we just thought, you know what, just go and do quests. Let's not slow each other down. We'll see you in a dungeon. We'll queue up for a dungeon together. But no, just that big community thing together, being online with the guild on Discord and stuff. That's going to be great.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, there's something special about connecting. Again, I think I said something earlier to where it's like, I just love that experience of being able to connect with people with something you love, something you're both passionate about, or you're all passionate about. And yeah, being able to play with people that care as much as you or more than you, there's nothing like it, man. Sean, what about you? Are you playing with anyone, or are you just solo, full steam ahead?
I'll go for especially for early access. My first playthrough on NA, I will definitely be solo. I won't even be in a Discord channel. I want to experience the story. I want the questing on my own. As Drowsy mentioned, I am perpetually behind. I am the slowest quester on the planet. We were doing the Endeavor stuff, and I had a friend who had to come and put like world markers on sticks for me to be able to see them, because I like, there's no sticks here. He's like, there's 7 sticks on your screen. So most of my friends zoom way ahead, so it's better for me. Then I don't feel stressed out. I'm not holding them back. They don't feel stressed out that they're playing with somebody who might not have their monitor turned on. It's just a much better experience all around. So I will be doing it first by myself, and then when I level up on EU, I'll probably jump in a Discord call with friends from my EU guild. And then as I level alts, it'll be either on stream or on a Discord call. But that first experience, that is 100% for me. That is a Sean only experience.
Are you streaming it?
No, I won't.
Really?
I don't want to I don't want to talk to people when I'm like, I want to internalize it all. I want to just take it in, absorb it. I want to play it in what I think is the way it was meant to be played. That story should be experienced by an individual. Anytime you add somebody else to a situation, you run the risk of tainting the way that you interact with it. And I go to movies by myself for this very reason. And
That's cool. In all seriousness, that's cool. I'm this is, again kind of continue on this line of thinking. I've always been the kind of person I enjoy. I say as a married man with 2 kids, I enjoy doing things by myself as well. I've probably been in the movies by myself a couple of times, but not regularly because again I have a family. But anytime I'm able to get that quiet time, that alone time, whether it's a meal out or I'm in a bookstore by myself or whatever, I love being by myself. I just like being by myself, man.
Oil changes. Schedule an oil change. Drop the car off. Have the mechanic place drive you to the movie theater. Go see a movie. Come back, and that way you don't even have to technically lie to your family. You just be like, "Oh, I'm just going for an oil change. I'll be back in roughly 2.5 hours with a massive crush on Ryan Gosling."
I can't wait for that movie.
I love that.
Damage. What about you, man? Are you playing solo with friends? What are you doing?
No, I'm keeping things just the way as far as stream goes. I'm keeping things normal schedule. So I will be playing on my own come Thursday for a little bit because I promised to take the wife to go see Scream 7. So we'll go see that and then maybe hop back on afterwards. So gonna still live my life as is as far as the new extra day that they added on. But come that Friday, I'll stream normal time with wherever I'm at that point, just to play it for me. I will be going in solo because I agree it's hard to level and quest and do things with other people with all good intent, obviously wanting to experience with other people and have that feel. But there are times where like, hey, I got to go to the store real quick. Well, I still want to go quest or level. It's like, well, I don't want to wait for you. So there's that. But I am going to go ahead and go in solo. I'll see everybody at level 90. We'll get there eventually all together. And that's when we can start kind of doing things all and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm on that same page as far as kind of going in solo.
Drowsy, I feel like an idiot. Did I start with you when I asked this question? You're playing with your. You said you're talking about your girlfriend. Okay, yeah, just making sure. I didn't want to leave you out. All right, I didn't want to be a jerk.
Thank you.
Forgive me.
No,
yeah, for me, I plan on playing solo. And just hitting the ground running. The last time I really took leveling, quote unquote. Okay, real quick. I used to be, like I said, I used to do the leveling guides and stuff like that. So I've always taken leveling fairly seriously early on. Not doing that this expansion. I'm much like you guys. I'm just looking forward to just relaxing and absorbing the story as it hits me, and just appreciating it. I will be streaming. So Sean's not streaming the launch. Damage will be streaming on the Friday. Is that what you said, Damage?
Yes, that is correct. Sorry,
he's gone. We've lost him.
No, I'm just fixing the camera thing real quick.
And then yes, I'll be streaming Thursday, and then Drowsy, Drowsy, what are you doing for launch? Are you going to be streaming or on YouTube or anything?
I won't be streaming. I don't stream currently at this moment in time, but my thing is just to try to not let 2 months pass without making any videos. So it's like, it's been 2 months. I haven't made a video. So yeah, just enjoy it and then get back to normal.
So, okay. First couple of days, we're 24, 48, 72 hours into launch. You've hit max level. What do you hope other than, I hope it was good. Like, what are you hoping to experience? What do you want that outcome to look like for you as a player? Sean, I'll start with you. That way you guys don't just pause for a weird few seconds.
Yeah, that if at the end of that 72 hours, I don't feel exactly the same way I felt after the first time I entered Eversong Woods as like a 24-year-old or however old I was. If I don't have that exact hit of nostalgia, I will be writing a multiple page diatribe on Twitter about how WoW has stepped off. So that's my goal, I think. That's what I'm looking for.
Damage, what do you want those first 2 to 3 days to really feel? Again, other than, it feels really good. Like, what do you want it to feel like for you?
I hope it feels like that to begin with. And in that same tone as well. I need it like that on a plate and on a platter. It's kind of hard to say because when I played beta, I did the entire storyline for the most part, almost all the way to 90. And I enjoyed it so much that I'm looking forward to redoing that again. So that being a good flavor of wanting to maybe try out different alts or different classes as I go into the first couple of days, I don't see myself burning out, which is really nice. But if it does, kind of not tickle that part there, then I haven't really had a plan B set aside just yet as far as what are we gonna do in
I'm
that
done.
case. But yeah, I know. I know for sure I'm gonna have to kind of figure things out as it goes, because once the game actually drops, that's when more of the actuality of like near race actually is obtainable, things like that. But kind of just enjoying that first couple of days on my own and seeing how the community is responding to it as well, slowly start expressing the love for the story that we all get to kind of witness for the first time. And then I might just fly around Eversong and what used to be the Dead Scar. And I'm not gonna say one other part because I think it's absolutely amazing what's connected now. So probably just go up and down that over and over again on my flying mount.
That's cool, man. I agree. I love the revamp they did. Just whatever you want to call it. It looks phenomenal.
Mhm.
It looks so good, man. What about you, Drowsy? What do you want to feel those first couple of days?
I think it's important, like, if everyone feels like everyone's enjoying it and everyone's having a good time, because, you know, in whatever way they enjoy the game. But ideally, things like there's not a lot of bugs, you know, like if there's a quest and it kind of trips you up because you're trying to get the Sojourner achievement done, do all the side quests, but there's one of them that's kind of bugged because the guy won't spawn or whatever it is. So hopefully everything's like smooth, and it's kind of nice when, you know, you sink a big session into the game, you spend hours on it, and then you come off because you've got to go to the store or go to work or whatever, and then you look on things like Reddit and Twitter, and people are just saying all good things. It just feels nice, right? Because they're like, they've done it, they've nailed the launch, everyone's happy. Maybe there's one guy that's mad about something, goddamn Hearthsteel, you know, but if everyone's generally having a good time and it feels good, and like it's the reputation of the game.
Why did they do strays?
Fucking light
Yeah,
plushies.
that's funny.
But yeah, if just everyone's having a good time, like the community's like behind it, then that's what I'm hoping is the situation.
I love what you just said there. Like, you get on, like, you're at work, you're away from your computer, you get on your phone or whatever, and you're like, oh, look at all these great comments, all of these raving reviews. That's a good feeling, man. I like that.
In this podcast alone, with all the positive feedback here, I can just taking glances over at chat and seeing their excitement being shared with the same things that we're talking about. That's a booster to that entry of Midnight.
Have you not been getting death threats? I got 3 death threats since we started.
No.
Are you being serious? I don't want to laugh at something that you're being serious about.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
This guy wants to buy power.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just there's something to be said about positivity, right? I wouldn't consider myself a Blizzard shill by any stretch of the imagination. Shadowlands sucked. There's a lot that I can complain about, etc., etc. But as a whole, I'm just a positive, optimistic person by nature, both online and offline. I love to laugh. I love to be silly. I love to be goofy. I'm easily entertained. I know who I am, so I'm going to enjoy Midnight, I can only assume, because of just who I am as a person. And I think that everyone listening, watching, on the stream, off the stream, we can all find a handful of things to whine about, complain about. That's human nature. But I think it's so important that you just try to enjoy what it is that's being put out in front of us and take it at face value. And, if there's something wrong, there's something wrong. But don't look for problems, right? Don't go looking for problems. Just try to enjoy it. That's my advice that nobody asked for. What about your classes? Sean, again, we'll start with you. I'm not talking about balancing per se, because again, we know things are going to change over the next month, but how does your class feel right now in pre-patch? How has it felt on beta the time that you played there? Are you happy with the changes on your main?
So I've been dabbling with all of the tanks, and with the exception of Blood Death Knights, apologies to all of them, all of the tanks feel pretty good. They feel mostly the way they felt before. Brewmaster feels better, more forgiving, easier to pick up. Bear might feel a little bit more complex than it used to, which is nice. It's nice for Bear to get a bit of complexity. But as far as from a tanking perspective, they feel good. And I'm going to say a thing, and it's not going to be popular, but I have also played with a little bit of Feral Druid online, and I am saying this from the point of view, before you start typing, I am saying this from the point of view of somebody who is not a good DPS, did not play Feral Druid at any point prior to now. and does not have the skill to watch 7 different dots and be able to have 8 builders and know exactly when to snapshot. So for the Feral Druid mains who are good at the game and get it and loved that, I feel for you. But for me, Feral Druid being a bit simpler, and some of the other DPS classes that I've tried being a bit simpler, feels nice. It's not so intimidating to play a DPS.
I can hear the Feral Druids now just furiously spamming on their keyboard.
We have a Feral Druid in our guild who's been a Feral Druid forever, and he is incredible. And he's swapping off to Death Knight for this tier. And I never like his profile picture's a cat. His UI is all cats. He just meows sometimes in raid. Like, this guy loves Feral Druid, and he's swapping to Death Knight. So that's how I know they're down bad.
Oh, it's so sad. OMV in Twitch chat says, Sean, you made all 6 of the Feral Druids out there very upset.
Mad at me. I'm so mad at me right now. I'll get a little bag of Friskus.
Oh my goodness. Damage, you're a warrior, correct? Prot warrior?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feeling, man?
I'm actually really good. I mean, to be quite fair, they didn't adjust too much with Prot, being that they made a lot of those changes late in the War Within already as is. So there's not too much. I am excited to curb stomp everything and everything I see, because that's just how it just feels strong. It feels, fun to do that as Prot. However, there are some of the recent changes. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Taking into consideration the new what is it, the Apex talents that we're all kind of getting, this very interesting. So that I'm excited for with Prot, and I'm sorry guys, with Prot, it's looking good. I'm having fun with it so far, and I even played it in beta.
Are you having more fun with your Prot warrior or your DSLR camera? That's the question.
Oh, so much fun. I mean, I think my DSLR is having more fun with me having to click back and forth on the on and off button. It's like you turning me on and off over it and over it and over it. Yeah, so I even changed the whole battery and is doing all that stuff.
Damage 10 minutes ago. I'm gonna fix this camera thing. I'm just gonna change his battery right quick.
I have 2 dummy batteries, and both of them. I think it's just the camera yelling at me. I'm gonna have to write something to Sony. Because
no, that's so fun.
Now Drowsy, earlier, correct me if I'm wrong. You said Affliction Warlock was calling to you. Was it also DK? Is that right?
It was on Holy DK, yeah. But that was with the sort of premise that, I mean, the rework for that is so good. It's got the Necromancer vibe, like it feels nice to play. And moving away from the whole festering wounds, popping the wounds, that had to go, and it's about time. But the thing with that was I was also going to, do a bit of blood on the side, but with Sean there just saying, its blood's not doing very well, it kind of makes me a little bit like, oh, maybe I should just hard commit to DPS, and just go with the Warlock, because Affliction Warlock, I mean, Demonology is always solid, and that still feels really good. Like, they made some nice changes to that. With Affliction Warlock, the last time I played that, I mained it for a season, was Legion. I think the start of Legion, when, you had Ulthalesh, the artifact weapon, and seeds popping off and all that. It just feels so nice. And to go back to that, ever since I heard it was going to be like that, I was like, yes, that's what we're going for. So I think I'm just committed right now to Warlock.
Do it, man.
By the way,
lock it in, dude. I'm a ranged DPS lover. It's not that I hate melee, but I'm just not a melee guy. So if you asked me, Warlock all the way. I mean, my first would be Hunter, but if Hunter's not available to you or not interesting to you, I would say definitely Warlock. Well, Damage, we appreciate you continuing to work on the issues there. So thank you very much, buddy. Your hard work does not go unnoticed.
I'm sorry about that, y'all.
Keep on casting.
I'm serious, man. You do not need to apologize. It's all good, man. The next poll question asks, who does Midnight feel designed for right now? Looks like there were 4. Oh, wow. There were 4 available answers. Only 3 of the 4 have been selected. No one selected hardcore players, and I would agree with that. I don't feel like Midnight is catering to hardcore players much at all, which I think is a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. But it's an even split, 33% across the board between casual players, everyone, and it's unclear at the moment. Sean, what do you think? Where is Midnight Design? Where's the philosophy at for you right now?
I feel like they are trying to target a little bit of something for everyone. But more importantly, I think the target audience for Midnight is returning players. As opposed to new players or players who've been playing for a long time, hardcore players, stuff like that. And a hardcore player is such a bad term. I know people have like 12 accounts to farm mounts. Those people are they're just as hardcore as MDI players, just a different type of hardcore. You know, they have pee jugs and poop socks too. They are just as intense as the rest of us. So hardcore is a term that is agnostic depending on your type of content. Sorry, that's an old reference. But yeah, I think it's more focused on returning players. It's like, hey, we're bringing in housing. We know a lot of people wanted this. It's a very hype feature. A lot of people are excited about it. So let's get in with that. We're demystifying some of the classes. They might look a little bit closer to what you remember when you last played. If when you last played was Wrath or Kata, maybe a little bit Mop. So come check it out for that. And yeah, we're building a cohesive story and taking you back to a place that is familiar. Eversong Woods, we're going back to Eastern Kingdoms. So I feel like a little bit of it is, you know, hey, you enjoyed Burning Crusade and you haven't played for a bit? Come on in. And I'm okay with that. Bringing people back to Azeroth is always good. And I think they've done it's a difficult thing to balance. You know, people say like, oh, if you try to hit everyone, you hit no one. But Warcraft has always had an audience that appealed to a huge spectrum of players. Like right from day one, it's been gritty and cutesy, all wrapped in the same package. And I think now they're just embracing that as opposed to only focusing on one side, which is nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think.
I think there's also something to be said, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this. There's been a lot of talk recently about, oh man, Warcraft is changing. Blizzard isn't listening to their existing audience base. What are they doing? I can only assume if I were Blizzard, I would absolutely be doing everything in my power to attract a new generation and a new audience, not ignoring who's existing, you know, who presently plays, of course. But how much truth do you think there is in that statement to where they're designing these systems, they're making these changes to attract returning players, new players? Because hey, Sean and I, we're in our 40s, man. We're not these young whippersnappers like Damage and Drowsy down here, right? We're getting old. We're not going to be around forever. I mean, what is there truth to that? I mean, I think there is, but what do you guys think?
I'll let Drowsy take this.
Nice one. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I don't want to repeat what you just said, but yeah, it's like I think it's definitely not, you know, getting to the top end. I think it's trying to. They're not changing the way they do things. I think they're just trying to expand the things that they already do to appeal to more people. It's like things like with the prey system, you know. So some people don't raid, don't do keys, and they do just spend the time doing delves or like they're out in the world and things. So like things like prey is good for them. Because WoW, to a brand new player, WoW is a hard game to learn, right? You know, there's so much going on. When you try and bring, I don't know if you ever had anybody, a friend or anybody you know, trying to come in to play WoW and trying to explain it to them. Yeah, it's so difficult, and they're like, well, what's this? Why do I need to go to the main city? What do you mean there's talents? And
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Please don't lose your train of thought. About 10 years ago, this is 10 years ago, I asked my older sister, she's 3 years older than me, hey, do you want to play WoW? We can stream it, we can have fun, we can make a YouTube series out of it. She said, sure, yeah, that would be fun. And it was so, I mean, she's a very intelligent, she has a PhD. I mean, she's a very intelligent person, and she's played games her entire life. And she had such a hard time picking up some of those early moments because it, especially 10 years ago, it just didn't do a good job of explaining things and walking her through that. I feel like so often it's easy for us who have played the game for literally decades now to just assume that people get how things work when that's not the case at all. Anyway, please continue your train of thought.
Yeah, so they've made things a little bit easier, like, you know, with is it Excel's Reach, the new island you go to now when you create a character? So that is good. That's a step in the right direction. But there's still a lot of things that doesn't do. I remember, I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, I thought, do you know what? I'll help the new people. I'll make a series, like a complete WoW beginner guide, right? So I did, and it ended up being about 6 videos, and it still wasn't finished. And I was like, there's just so many things, like trying to explain combat, and then travel. How do we get around the world? And then professions are so in depth. They've only gotten worse, by the way. Obviously, because they're a bit more, I say worse, but they just got more complex.
Right.
There's just
right.
so many things.
Right. It was worse. You could double down on it.
But yeah, there's just so much to do. And they're even rolling that back now, aren't they? Professions, that they're becoming a little bit more simplified. There's a little bit less tiers of, improvement for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, it's a lot. But yeah, I feel like the things they're doing, like with housing, and making the classes simpler and all those things. It's kind of just trying to broaden what they already do, I think, to even more people, hopefully. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Sean. It's for the returning players, not necessarily for the new players, you know.
Dude, I spent 14 years as a literal rocket surgeon. My profession, my trained career was as a technician on missiles and targeting systems.
Nice.
And I couldn't figure out Unholy Death Knight. And I have access to some of the best players in the game. And I almost cursed. I play this game for a living. And I couldn't figure out. It needed to be reduced. Sorry, Damage. Welcome back. We missed you.
Sorry.
Do you think Warcraft was too hard?
Real quick before I put my input, I had my wife come up and bring the exact same camera she has up, so I switched out the entire rig.
Nice.
So we shouldn't have any issues going.
Nice.
Give it 5 minutes to warm up,
I
right?
Swear to God, if this
5
one,
minutes, the over
if this one blows up on me too, I'm gonna. Oh man, no, I definitely agree that going off of the grid that we saw a moment ago with the poll, it's literally meant for. I think I agree, meant for more of the returning player base. It's felt like that, at least. They really emphasized on making it more enjoyable, and even the new players. I have actually a really good friend of mine who was in chat a second ago, or is still in chat, and they picked up WoW less than a week ago. Already level 80, is already raiding with us, but felt more comfortable with some of the things that they're doing now in the game than maybe they were beforehand. So I always try to say that this is probably the best time for any returning or new players to come in to play the game before going into midnight. So beforehand, yeah, it would 100%. Actually, Heckly being gone kind of broke my heart, because that was one of my favorite plugins to use when I was DPSing, because I was just like, man, I'm having a hard time with my rotation. I'm grabbing all of my builds. I have no shame in this. I grab all my builds from
absolutely,
from everybody else, for Icy Veins, all that thing. I would just do that, maybe skim over it, and after playing Warrior for so many years, finally got an understanding, and then they took it away. But that's okay. I still enjoyed the game very much. I wasn't complaining. It was a lot of fun, and I think that's going to be the benefit for all of the new players and returning players coming in, and anybody that's mad about it, they can still play because they're going to.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point. I think it's critical that Blizzard continues reaching out to those both new and returning players, because I feel like so many people lose sight of the fact that, again, the player base, if it continues to dwindle, that ain't good. We want to bring in new life, or that returning player to give us a broader game, and to give us access to more players and more interaction and more groups and more raids and more this and more that. And just, I think we can all think back over the 20 years this game has been out, to 1,000 different guild members and friends on our friends list that are no longer playing. I mean, how amazing would it be to have even a fraction of those people come back and just get reinvested and plugged back in? I would love that personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely agree.
I mean, what do you say? So we've been talking about reaching out to people and bringing people back in, and how cool Midnight is, and I agree with you. I think that now is a great time to get plugged back into the game, more than it has been in recent years. But what if someone reinstalls WoW, or installs WoW for the first time? They start playing through Midnight. Maybe they even reach max level, and they say, not for me. Like, who is that? Like, what in the game doesn't exist for someone who just isn't vibing with it? Does that question make sense? Like, what do you say to somebody who says, well, WoW just ain't it for me, man?
That's a great question. I think it's definitely a difficult one to ask, because it's almost like something you don't like to eat if you're, tomato type of deal. At least you tried it. That's one thing I like to at least put out there, is if, with let me use Final Fantasy 14 as an example. I played it. I got to my job to level 60. And then they said, cool, now you unlock this and you can go and get this. I'm like, cool, how do I do that? Start over on the same character. I'm like, oh, don't like that idea. I don't like that. But at least I tried it. You know what I mean? At least I tried to play it. So same thing can go for World of Warcraft, vice versa, in my opinion. So if they hit 80 and it's just, this isn't their flavor, maybe unfortunately they didn't have the right influence with the community to do so, or whatever it could have been, I think at least they tried it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I respect that. Yeah.
Don't Tase Me Bro says, it's okay, we have Prop Hunt coming up. Everyone, listen, are you making a joke? Don't Tase. I'm excited for Prop Hunt. Thank you very much. I love Prop Hunt games.
That's
How
one of
dare
my
you don't
my
tase me,
best
bro.
mates. That's one of my best mates. He actually really is excited for that.
How dare you? Oh, okay, fair enough. Me. Well, we can game together. I'll prop hunt with you for real. I really am looking forward to it. Sean, did you have an opinion on if Midnight isn't vibing with someone? Like who is that player? Because we've got housing, raiding, PvP. I mean, PvP might be a little questionable right now, but Mythic Plus. We've got so much stuff in this game right now. What do you think would cause someone to say, meh? The story?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is people who Midnight isn't for. I think that's okay. I think there's lots of game. We're in like the renaissance of gaming right now. There's lots of stuff you can play. But if there is somebody who it's not for, we'll certainly hear about it on Twitter. So we'll know who they are immediately, and they'll give us all of their reasons why it's not exactly the thing that they wanted. And I feel bad for those folks, but yeah, I would like to pitch Blizzard, if you're listening, and you might be. I would like to pitch a flip on Prop Hunt for Halloween. I would like a Halloween version of Prop Hunt where the props hunt the players.
Yeah.
I can turn into a cheese board, and I can't run. I can only walk slowly, but I have to try to chase you down throughout Silvermoon. Halloween prop hunt. That's what I want.
Somebody hire this rocket surgeon. Holy moly.
You say cheese board, the charcuterie boards that they talking about, those little ones?
Yeah, listen, I'm in Canada, man. We're not fancy, all right? It's a cheese board.
Okay, gotcha. I just figured out how to really say that word correctly for the first time not too long ago. So yeah, I used to say
like,
charcuterie board.
Yeah, Sean just gave me an opportunity to say charcuterie.
Sorry. Bleep it out if it's bad. I apologize. My fault.
I was hoping I'd be able to work in charcuterie. Thanks for the assist. I got you.
Sean, I just remembered, or you just said, you're in Canada. Are you going to the Northrend event next month? Oh wait, next week. Sorry.
Yeah, it's next Saturday. I'm actually running the stream for it. So I will be there. I will be very busy if you were there. Waved at me from across the room, but I'll be wearing one of those signs that says, this is an emotional support streamer. Do not pet. Because I will be very busy. I have an interview to start the show with one of the devs, Toby Rangiani. And then from that point forward, I'm myself and Rolly, a friend of mine who's coming up from Texas. Shout out Texas. We're going to be running the whole broadcast for the event in Toronto.
Dude, that's so cool, man. That sounds awesome. Do you know Pika? Have you talked to him personally or anything like that?
Yeah. Pika. So Pika, it was originally, I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to say, but it was originally Pika wanted to do a community event, reached out to Blizzard. Blizzard said, hey, we're also doing an event that same month. Do you want to mix them together? And I was on Pika's team for the community event.
So cool. So please give him a hug for me. I've known him for a few years now. He's been nothing short of the sweetest guy ever to me. So please tell him I'm sorry that I couldn't be. I mean, I've already told him this in Twitch or Discord DMs, but just please give him a hug for me. That guy's so cool.
Yeah, public Pika is very, very friendly and nice. Yeah,
he's such an awesome guy and a heck of a good tank. And I heard you are a heck of a good tank too. So make sure you carry me through keys this next season. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no problem. Same price for everybody.
Free, right? The answer there is free.
Listen, man, we need to make gold some way or another, right? We got to make sure we upgrade our gear somehow. So
why are you still laughing? Why are you still laughing? It's free, right? All right. Anyway, so the last poll question asks, what usually decides if you stick with an expansion long term? About half of the people, including myself, said the in-game loop. I mean, to me, that just makes sense because I'm an in-game focused player. But a lot of people also said the community and the social scene. With you doing Mythic Plus, but you don't really raid Drowsy, where do you fall in that spectrum? Do you care about the in-game loop? Or do you care about the social scene more? Because I feel like you're right smack dab in the middle there.
Yeah, the social scene is important for sure. I think for me it's the two things. So it's the end game loop, but it's also the ongoing support cadence and like what's coming up. Because so for me, like the end game loop, I might do the raids, clear heroic. I'm not too fussed about mythic, but then I might get Keystone Master, Keystone Hero maybe, and do that. But then once I've got to that point, I'm kind of just like, okay, I'll do a weekly key. But then it's me for more about like going gathering things, doing achievements and stuff like that, doing social stuff. But then knowing there's something coming up in the future, like these one boss raids, that kind of thing coming up, that's good because that keeps you in. That gives you a reason to stay relevant. Like stay focused, keep your gear up,
Yeah.
gear up some alts, that kind of thing. So you're prepping for the next one. So I think it's two things for me out of that poll.
Sean, where do you fall in that equation? You care about, I mean, I can only imagine you care about the in-game loop. Is that the only thing that you care about when it comes to playing WoW at the high end? Or playing WoW, I should say, at all?
Yeah, that end game loop is important. But I discovered this season that feeling a connection to the zone and the story matters to me more than I thought it did. I played less WoW in Koresh than I have ever in the history of the game, and including Shadowlands when I actively wanted to launch myself into the sun. So I've discovered that it's not just the end game loop, because Men of Forge Omega, banger raid, bosses are all fantastic. My raid team is lovely. I enjoyed all that thoroughly. But not having a connection to Koresh, not feeling anything about the zone, not enjoying the story, made me spend less time there. So for me, I would love to say that, yeah, it's the end game loop, and that does matter. But it's actually, I think it actually matters to me how connected I feel to the zone. Because in season 1, I was all over it, man. I was doing that theater troop event. You know, I was doing world quests. Who does world quests? I was like just doing stuff and having fun. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna say it's the zone itself, the story, that kind of stuff, the extra stuff that'll I'm not gonna quit. Let's face it. You know what I mean? Anybody who says they're gonna quit, they're probably not gonna quit. We are all horribly addicted to this game. It takes a lot. I took a 10-year break. Yeah. So it's that. It's I want and I know it's going to, because I have, ridiculous unmatched feelings tied to Eversong Woods that can never possibly be replicated. But I will continue to chase it, because that's what humans do.
Yep. Damage, what about you, man? What matters to you at the end of the day? Do you care about the in-game loop?
I do, in a sense. I'm kind of more on the community social side of things. Just basically because my stream, my content creation, all is around World of Warcraft. Not so much World of Warcraft all around content creation, but kind of more leaning in the middle. But the community side and the social scene, I think, has, like I mentioned before, has been at its best for the longest time. And there's so much more to do at the end game via community, or even outside of the main game itself, that just makes it a lot more fun. But I am excited for the end game loop, mainly because of more recent experiences. Kind of like what Sean was saying. Season 1 of War Within, I was doing the exact same thing. I was doing the theater. I was doing world quests. I was doing the new world bosses that they did for some reason, and I never really did all that before. It was fun. I enjoyed that. Then it kind of got a little bit died out under mine. I crashed into every building that could have that was there, and under mine I drove like a madman. I couldn't do it. And then Koresh, a little bit was slower on the Koresh side. So I think the end game loop, though, has a more recent, with Legion Remix coming out. I know that's not going to be something we can expect here with any remixes, but I'm just saying there was new content and new things to do almost every other week to every month that this season has been out. So I'm hoping that they don't do as much, obviously, because it's the end of the expansion, but I at least hope that they still keep up current content and new things as we go with the end game. So that way it doesn't feel like it's being dragged out so much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damage, while you were talking, I was staring at you. Happy to report your camera looking good, man. No issues.
Yeah.
No issues.
Yeah, so far so good. So
I'm
I
happy
think the
for you,
wife's
buddy.
camera, I might have to accidentally be like, oh no, I don't know which ones, because they're the exact same cameras. So I'm like, oh babe, I'm sorry.
Does she stream as well? Is that why she has one?
Not as she's just starting up. Yes. So technically
Gotcha.
she's also a photographer. She does photography, but we use the same camera for our streams. But
Gotcha.
But we might have to accidentally. Oh, she says I will know. That's her daily dose in the chat.
Okay.
We'll see if she knows.
We're not talking about anything. That's fine. It's fine.
I actually miss the camera going out. So when you talk, I've just started closing my eyes.
Listen to my voice, Sean.
The conversation we were having a moment ago, Guy_01 in Twitch chat says, yeah, I quit WoW for hours a day. Work, sleep, whatever. No big deal. We did have one question come through that I want to get to from Cynic's Cutie. He or she asks, do you guys think that Blizzard needs to seriously take a look at raid sizes? A growing population of the community has been asking for 10-man raids to come back. Why do you think Blizzard has been so against it? Sean, as kind of the default raider right now, I'll let you take this one first.
this is a complex question with there's no simple answer. I'll attempt to simplify it. So 10-man raids exist if you raid heroic. It has flex rating. You can raid with 10 people. It exists. I feel like now, as somebody who I think would enjoy 10-man mythic raids as well, I think the big risk is how do you nail that tuning and how do you adjust boss fights on a mythic level for 10-man groups and 20-man groups? And then what happens if so then do we make it flex? Because what if there's a 15 people group? I think for the health of the mythic raid scene, I think keeping it locked at one static number makes it easier for tuning, makes it easier for guilds who've been around for a long time right now, because that would also be a big shakeup for a lot of guilds. So I don't expect we're going to see a change in that anytime soon. And I don't necessarily think I want them to change it. I myself would be in a really tough situation because I have friends that I know I would want to raid Mythic with in 10-man. And I have my guild that I'm in now that is a 20-man raid guild. But with Heroic having that flex option, I think that gives us a nice balance. And I recognize it's not the same difficulty level. And if you're really looking for that challenge, you don't have it in Heroic that you might have in Mythic. But I think just especially in this world where we're moving to more expansions sooner, I don't think adding another plate that is spinning that they have to tune and balance is a good idea. I think we should be trying to keep it as limited to 20 as limited as possible. But I definitely feel you because there are lots of people I know that are like, I'm an exceptionally good heroic raider. I would do well in a mythic raid, but I don't have 19 people I can sit with for 2 hours a week
Right.
or 3 hours a week. What do I do? And
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'd like to add to that too, with all the UI changes and all of the restrictions on, basically weak aura is gone. All these things that are these massive changes. I definitely agree that I don't see it change to that as of anytime soon. Because looking at the bosses now, they definitely seem a little bit dimmed down with Sean, you can definitely correct me on this. I've only seen so much when it comes to rating in Midnight, but it definitely you can tell that it's more obvious in some situations with the rating of like mechanics and things like that. So there's still I think there's gonna be a lot of adjustments when it comes to that. So sticking to the flex up to heroic is a great idea for like just to stick to that for now and then keep mythic where it's at to make things that competitive level. There is going to be that competitive itch for rating that everyone's going to want to touch. And I think having to meet 20 man and then I don't know how I feel about the lockout part so much, but I'm not a competitive mythic raider. So I stay within my heroic range until the end of the season when people are like, yeah, I'll carry you. I'm like, yay, cool.
Yeah. I do want to address that lockout. I'm glad you mentioned it because Strido in chat also mentioned it.
That's what made me say it too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would definitely be open to and like in support of the mythic lockout being flexed like it is with heroic, but not until Hall of Fame closes. If you this is the problem we have with mythic and making adjustments. Hall of Fame is so competitive that if you open up to flex rating before Hall of Fame closes, then you're going to see insanely degenerate things in the race to world first. You're going to see insanely degenerate things in Hall of Fame races. So if after, like we used to have when Hall of Fame would close, they would open up cross region, which is now just open all the time. If Hall of Fame closing opened up that lockout, I think that would be an elegant way to sort of massage the some of the pain points in getting into mythic rating. Yeah.
Drowsy, do you have any feedback on any of this? You're not really involved in rating, right?
No, but I've got a bit of a question though, as like an observer of things like the Race to World First. So, what do you think it would be like with the smaller raids coming? So, my understanding is that the smaller raids are going to come before the end of the next season, right? So, at that point, the Mythic Raiders, you've got all your gear sorted, everything's kind of locked in. So, at the start of the new raid being released, will there be the usual Race to World First, or how will that look if it's everyone's geared already? There won't be all the split runs going on and that kind of stuff. So what would that be like with these new smaller raids?
I don't
Just curious.
From a Race to World First perspective, based on individuals that I've spoken to that are in the race, we're not going to see. I wouldn't expect to see any drastic change to the way they run things. It's a 9 boss raid tier for them, basically. If you look back historically, so the last two, the heroic or the Mythic Week opens, and then we have March on Quell the Nass, which isn't open. So they'll be able to go up to the end of Voidspire, which would be 7 of 9 bosses in the tier, the 6 in Voidspire, the 1 in Dream Rift. We haven't had a race in recent memory where they had already killed the penultimate boss going into that last reset. I think they had just killed Xal'atath this last year, or maybe no, they hadn't killed him at all. So going into those last 2 bosses are typically alive heading into that second week anyway. So we're heading into a second week, and it's the same situation. Those last 2 mythic bosses are going to be alive still. So for the Race to World First, this is again all based on tuning dependent, but the assumption is in the Race to World First, it'll be no change from what we've seen. They're treating it as a 9 boss raid. Expect the first 7 bosses to be cleared probably by the end of that first week of Mythic. So all of Voidspire, all of Dream Rift, with March on Quelled and Ass coming up. The only question will be is if there's value in doing Mythic splits, which will be easier because of Dream Rift only being 1 boss and Void Rift being just 6 bosses. So you could potentially see some Mythic splits in that second week if the value is there. But I think outside of the Race World First, because that impacts such a small number of people, from a perspective of the vast majority, this is going to make pugging a lot easier in Midnight because you can just pug Dream Rift and now you're not locked out entirely to the whole raid tier. Or, you could just do the first couple in Void Rift. So, or you could just do March on Quelled and Ass. So I think the mythic pug scene, and as we're talking about, should we change the lockout? Should we change the raid sizes? I think you're going to see an influx in accessibility to the mythic pug scene in Midnight because of the way that the raid tier is split up like this. But from a Race to World First purely perspective, I don't think as a viewer it's going to change much for any of us, which is a good thing.
Now, my question is, Drowsy, did you mean the raids between raids? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, so I was thinking as well, like, yeah, so this no, but that was a really good insight into that bit. No, it's all good info. So there's that bit, right? Yeah, so that bit's going to run kind of like as normal, but then the next raid that comes out, like,
Sean, great points. Great
that
points on everything, Sean.
Right?
Didn't answer the question, but great points, buddy.
I'm going to say this right now. I didn't even realize that was the actual question. I thought he was talking about the first 3. So I was like, oh, nice. I'm learning a lot of stuff too. And then you mentioned, I'm like, oh snap, I forgot about those other 2.
Lovely, impeccable.
What about the next ones?
I suspect the 1 boss raid there won't be a Race to World First per se. It'll probably be something that is hopefully is a quick clear. Yeah, it won't, if it comes out, and the difficulty for those of you who remember Crucible of Storms, that was incredibly difficult. If it comes out when like the way that did, I also think that's a big miss. I think they don't at a 0.7 patch, you don't want it to come out that difficult. It should be something that is a 1 to 2 night clear for 2 night a week raid teams. So probably a 1 day clear for the Race to First teams. I don't think it'll come out tuned too hard. It's definitely not going to launch tuned expecting you're fully mythic geared, because even in 0.7, only like half the teams that are going to get kills will have even gotten the full clear of everything at that point. That's
man.
Yeah. I was going to make a comment about reading comprehension, but apparently I should have been about listening comprehension.
It's okay. I'm the visual comprehension issue right now, so we're good there. We check all 3 marks, we're good.
Guys, we've already been at this for 2 hours, and I got to get you out of here. I can't believe time. I genuinely can't believe time has flown by this fast. This might be the most joyous episode so far. I have been cackling and laughing and giggling, and your vibes, your attitudes have been infectious, and so I just want to thank you again for being on the show today. It has been a genuine joy. So thank you for being here. I'm gonna go around the table one more time and ask you guys a question. I'm going to let you guys plug yourselves again, because I want to make sure that people have an opportunity to hang out with you on your streams, your YouTube channels, your Discords, etc. Sean, the same question for everyone. Sean, we're going to start with you. If somebody logs into Midnight day 1 and they're feeling a little overwhelmed, what kind of advice or encouragement would you give them to kind of just ease into the expansion? Maybe they're a returning player, maybe they're a new player. How can someone not feel overwhelmed with a brand new expansion? And then also, again, tell people who you are and where you can be found.
For sure. Thank you very much for having me. I've had a blast. If you log into Midnight and you're feeling overwhelmed, just slow down. Take a breath. Do the campaign. The quests are all marked with a little shield icon and an exclamation inside of them, and that's it. That's your home. Just live there till it's done. Don't worry about completion of zones. Don't worry about farming. Don't worry about professions. Don't worry about what streamer told you blood that was bad. Just focus on the campaign. And when you get to the end, you can figure it out. And to plug myself, if you liked me, if you want to hear more of these spicy takes, we have Spicy Take Friday over on the stream where the spice must flow, and we try to make people as angry as we can in chat heading into the weekend because that's the best time to do it. I am CartridgeBros everywhere, literally everywhere. If it's a social media place, it's CartridgeBros. I guess if you're one of the 6 people on Blue Sky, it's CartridgeBros.studio. And yeah, also the Raider.io YouTube channel. I do all of their videos. That's me. That's,
And For
that's it.
Azeroth podcast, correct?
Yes, For Azeroth podcast. Yes. Sorry. Can't believe I forgot that. I'm
It's all
probably
good,
gonna
man.
lose my job.
You will find, and this is true for every episode. I do my best to make sure that every guest has representation in the description below. So go down there. You can find their links. Go follow them. Go sub to them. Go hang out. Go leave comments. Go engage. It helps all of us out tremendously. So Sean, you are nothing short of amazing. Thank you so much for being here today, man. Damage, I'm gonna throw it over to you. You're down. You're just gonna throw you down to you, Damage. If people are feeling overwhelmed, what kind of encouragement would you give them to just kind of ease into the expansion, and then tell people where they can find you?
Sure. Yeah. To add on to basically what Sean just said, literally, first and foremost, that is the best thing to do. If you get on the midnight and you feel like, oh man, there's a lot going on, just stick to the main story. Just enjoy that. Take your time. Don't feel pressed to have to like get through it as fast as you can. Even if you have early access, just take your time, enjoy it. You might get booted a couple times if the launch is not good, but hopefully it is good. So just have patience with it and enjoy it. Another thing I can add is if you are comfortable with it, find a community. There's a bunch. You can go on any social media, or you can go on Twitch, you can go on YouTube, you can go on TikTok, all of the above. Instagram, you can find a community and maybe that fits right for you. That's probably another best thing I can say, because if you have the right people around you, even if you're not as social, just reaching out a little bit makes that ultimate difference. Even being here watching this right now is a great step to getting over that lump. But yeah, you can find me on just about everything. I primarily stream on Twitch. I'm also I stream on TikTok at the same time every time that we go live. Damage100 _ because somebody doesn't want to give that up yet on Twitch, and it's lived with me forever. But you can find me on mainly Twitch and on TikTok. I also post over on Instagram, and I'll try to be posting more on YouTube when people start being nice to me, because the comments are mean. But we try to work around it. Yeah. But the community is great. I've been very lucky to have a lot of people in the last couple of months, including you gentlemen, teach me things, build off of things with World of Warcraft, and revivify basically what makes me love the game so much every time I get on, every time I can. So yeah, I'm very happy to have been here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. This was probably the best experience I've had via podcast in general.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy that I had this opportunity. So thank you guys. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Thank you too, man. Drowsy, bring it home, baby. What would you tell someone who's feeling a little bit overwhelmed with midnight early on? And then please tell people where they can find you.
Absolutely. So I think the important thing to remember is 2 things. First of all, you're playing a game, so there's literally no pressure to do anything correctly, And also remember that you're just human, just like the rest of us. We've all been new at some point. We've all been overwhelmed in this game, whether it's the first time you've done a mythic key or a raid or whatever it is. So you're not doing anything wrong. Don't worry. Just take your time. Like the guy said, I agree. Just do some quests. Just literally do some quests, or just think, oh, that looks cool over there. Go and see the thing. Just go and do whatever you're drawn to in the game and just have fun. But like Damage was saying, their community is a massive thing. So there's like World of Warcraft. Like there's nothing that makes it better than doing it with people that you enjoy being with. So definitely find your people. And that definitely makes the game a lot better and a lot easier. And even though you might get some nasty people, kicking you out of a dungeon or whatever it might be, there's a lot of good people out there. They don't represent the community as a whole, the asshats. There's a lot of good people. So just find your guys, and there's people that will play with you. Find me. Cheers. So, main thing for me is YouTube. I don't stream. So, YouTube, TheDrowsyDragon on there. Put lots of guides for all sorts of things to do with the game on there. And the Discord, the best place to find me is in the Discord server, really, as well. So YouTube, Discord, TheDrowsyDragon. And that's me. And thank you very much for having me. It's been class. It's been awesome. Been really excited for this. It's been really, really good.
Heck yeah, man. This was fun. I'm, again, just a smile on my face the whole time, genuinely. So Thank you guys. You're awesome. I cannot wait to invite you guys back on as the expansion unfolds and as the rest of the year unfolds. So make sure you guys go follow these guys, sub to them, hang out with them. I'm dead serious. Anytime you're able to interact with a content creator, whether on their channels, their YouTubes, it means the world to us. So thank you. You guys are out of here. We're done. This has been episode 15 of Brutally Honest, a WoW podcast. Next week, we have Arson. I'm looking at my phone just to make sure I get this right. Arson, Shaderic, and Herrick. It's a lot of weird names leading into each other. But looking forward to sitting down with those guys for the last episode. This has been the penultimate episode, the second to last episode. Thank you. You are done. You have been released. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you next week. My name's Brutall. That's been That's been Sean, CartridgeBros. It's been Damage 100. And wait, hold on. I'm trying to get my angles right. And then down there is TheDrowsyDragon. So appreciate you guys. Episode 15 in the books. Oh, absolutely. Please.
One last thing. Everybody in chat, let's wish a happy belated birthday to Brutall here, by the way. Big 40. So big happy birthday. You want to sing?
Happy birthday to you.
I'm leaving.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
And there you have it, people. Episode 15 in the books. There's only one episode to go. I just hit my desk. If it came through the mic, too bad. You're probably still smiling from ear to ear. And if you're not, then again, I don't know what to say to you. That was probably the most fun I've had on the show so far. You may be able to tell. I'm just feeling very, very light and just bubbly right now. That was fun. So shout out to Sean, Damage, and Drowsy. Those guys just brought me joy today, and I hope that we collectively brought that joy to you. Next week, as I mentioned, we have Arson, we have Shaderic, and we have Herrick. Herrick and I are actually in the same guild. So the first time that I'm sitting down with him, I'm very excited to dig into where Midnight is literally days before early access hits. That's next week. Thank you for being here today. I have nothing more to say. I left everything on the table during that episode, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for watching. Please share. Please follow along. You can find me at BrutallStatic everywhere. Come hang out on Twitch. Again, early access is right around the corner, so I would love it if you got plugged in and you engaged with the community and engaged with me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I really hope you had fun. I know I did. I'll see you guys next week for the last episode of the season before season 2 starts about halfway through March. And I'll see you hopefully on a stream and or in the comment section here soon. My name's Brutall. I'm out of here. Bye.